Just stem from testimony given 5 years ago by Comey to Congress in connection with an FBI investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Comey's arraignment is October 9th in Alexandria, Virginia.
Statute of limitations in the case was set to expire next week. President Trump has announced a brand new round of taxes on imports. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
The president is slapping the largest tariff, 100% on pharmaceuticals, unless a company is in the process of building a manufacturing facility in the U.S., while the others range from 25 to 50%.
They also include upholstered furniture and heavy trucks. The tariffs are set to go into effect next Wednesday. Officials say the 29-year-old suspect in this Wednesday's deadly shooting outside an Icefield office in Dallas left written notes behind offering clues to a motive. Acting U.S. Attorney Nancy Larson.
He hoped his actions would terrorize ICE employees and interfere with their work, which he called human trafficking.
One detainee was killed outside the building. 2 others were wounded. Officials say the suspect shot and killed himself. A court victory for an Irish rap star in the UK.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. A judge here has just thrown out a terror-related charge against rapper Mo Farah, a member of the Irish-language hip-hop group Kneecap. No one disputed that the rapper had waved the flag of Lebanese militant group Hezbollah at a London gig last November. Hezbollah is banned here as a terrorist group, so that act was technically illegal. But the judge just threw out the case over a technical error in the way that charge was brought.
The Kneecap rapper has just reacted. He says the bid to, quote, silence us failed. Supporters cheered in court when the judge told him he was free to go. A study from Boston Children's Hospital, Harvard Medical School released today finds COVID vaccines are safe for pregnant women. Research fellow Nikan Zagadeh authored the work.
We showed that there were no increase in any maternal complications like hypertension, diabetes.
She says the study actually found a protective trend in neonatal outcomes for vaccinated moms. Dow futures are up 62. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
At 6:03, we have clear skies, 55 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, September 26th. The news sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterey. Amid concerns that needed federal funding won't come, Bi-State Development plans to vote on switching its Green Line light rail expansion proposal to buses instead.
Adolphus Pruitt, president of the St. Louis City NAACP, is upset to see the city and Bi-State Development abandon the proposed light rail connecting North and South City. He tells KMOX a rapid bus service shouldn't require the taxes approved for the Metrolink expansion.
Improving ridership efficiency along the route where Metrolink was going to go via standard buses and stuff. I think they can do that without the use of our funds.
Mayor Kara Spencer campaigned on pausing the project and reassessing its chances of receiving federal grants. She says in a statement to KMOX, the price tag over $1 billion for less than 6 miles and 10 stations puts the project out of reach. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Sections of a vacant 2-story building collapsed in a North St. Louis fire overnight. The city fire department reports it happened in the 3000 block of North Taylor. Crews arrived to find heavy smoke in the basement and the flames threatening some nearby buildings. No injuries reported.
The new NGA West campus in North St. Louis has its ceremonial grand opening later this morning, nearly a decade after it was proposed. Spokesman David Burzek tells KMOX the headquarters was planned for collaboration.
We have a good portion of the building that is actually designed to be used as more unclassified space. And we have a learning center and an innovation center that we have designed specifically to be able to interact better with vendors or with entrepreneurs or researchers.
The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency's role is to provide geospatial intelligence to aid the military, national security, and first responders.
26 people are indicted in federal court accused of being part of a Sinaloa cartel drug pipeline from Mexico to the St. Louis region. The feds say one of them, 56-year-old Earl Frank of O'Fallon, Illinois, has been charged with conspiracy to distribute meth, fentanyl, and cocaine, as well as 2 counts of money laundering conspiracy. Throughout the investigation, federal authorities say they seized 800 pounds of fentanyl, 150 pounds of methamphetamine, and 100 pounds of cocaine.
Big changes on the way for Manchester Road in Brentwood.
A judge gives the city the green light to move ahead with its $700 million redevelopment plan after a legal challenge from residents was dismissed. Those neighbors argued that their homes were not blighted, and they worried about the potential use of eminent domain to take their property. But the court upheld the city's finding that the 48-acre area is blighted. In a statement, Brentwood officials say the redevelopment is vital for the city's long-term growth and add, quote, "We are encouraged that the court recognize the city's compliance with proper procedures as we continue work on this important redevelopment project." Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Powell Hall reopening this weekend after a 2-year, $140 million renovation and expansion project. Stuart McMillan on hand for rehearsal as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra was tuning up for its first performance back home.
It's clean and fresh, literally fresh paint signs still on many of the walls as I walk the red carpeted foyers and passageways. Anna Levy was the project manager for the renovation and expansion.
Some of the obvious things are more elevators, more restrooms, more accessibility. We actually have fewer seats, but the seats are slightly bigger, more legroom, easier to get to, and they have cup holders.
Brian Corey with design firm Kierkegaard was in charge of designing new acoustic panels so that everyone sitting on stage and on the ground floor could hear.
The actual acoustics on stage and on the main floor were good, but we saw opportunities for improvement.
The first concerts of the SLSO's 146th season at the newly renovated Powell Hall will be today through Sunday.
The business desk sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Midwest Bank Center continues donating property and former bank branches to nonprofit groups. This time, a 22,000 square foot building on South Grand. Christian Friends of New Americans recently moved in. According to the Business Journal, the nonprofit offers services to immigrants and refugees. The bank branch closed earlier this year.
Midwest Bank Center Chairman and CEO Orvin Kimbrough says instead of just selling the properties, they believe in creating opportunities that help neighborhoods thrive. Another former branch on Merrimack and Dutchtown is now a micro business incubator. The former North Broadway branch was donated to Dream Builders for Equity, a site across from Bevo Mill, now being turned into affordable senior housing.
It is 6:08. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we've got traffic and weather. And there is a move afoot to recall a major city mayor in this region. More details on the way.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It is 6:10. This is Total Information AM. Debbie Monterey along with Megan Lynch and Frank Ladd, who is in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, the good news is this crash on eastbound Highway 64 is just before Route 3, and it is headed eastbound out of St. Louis. So not seeing major delays from the Missouri side of the river into Illinois due to the crash. That is reportedly blocking a couple left lanes there. Up in North County, it's a great run into North County, westbound on Highway 270, crossing the Chain of Rocks Bridge. Not seeing any delays coming in from St. Charles County to St. Louis County. That's eastbound on Highway 70 up to the Blanchette Bridge. Eastbound 64, we had reports of a crash near the Boone Bridge over on the right shoulder, though, involving a tractor trailer. Not seeing any delays coming in from St. Charles County to St. Louis County. Headed northbound on 270 so far this morning. No problems to report between 5544 and Highway 64. Our next traffic update at 6:20. I'm Frank Ladd, the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, plenty of sunshine today. We'll have a warm afternoon with a high of 82, clear skies and a low of 58 tonight. Another warm day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and a high of 84, and then very warm for Sunday. Still plenty of sun with a high of 86. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Clear skies this morning. We have 57 degrees reported in Florissant and St. Peter's, 55 downtown at the Arch.
One final series for the Redbirds, one final start for Miles Michaelis. That's today. I've got details straight ahead in sports.
And the weather is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. What are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It is 6:12. Good news, drivers. Construction on Lindbergh between Page and Swan Avenues is finally complete. MoDOT officials are holding a ribbon cutting this morning to celebrate the new road and the replacement of a bridge that forced a 2-month closure.
Anger over a proposed data center in St. Charles has led to an effort to recall the city's mayor, Dan Borgmeyer. A group of citizens has filed the paperwork with the city clerk's office. The petition cites examples of malfeasance.
Olivia Cross tells the Post-Dispatch the data center is just one of many issues they are concerned about. The group will need to collect more than 11,000 signatures of registered voters by January to force a special election.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe has announced he'll put his signature on a bill to redraw the state's congressional map on Sunday. The map passed September 12th. It's facing multiple lawsuits and a citizen-led referendum effort that could delay or even overturn it. Critics say the proposed map was rushed and is unconstitutional, while supporters argue it better reflects Missouri's values.
After months of public hearings across the state, the Missouri House Committee on Property Tax Reform met Tuesday at the Capitol for a roundtable discussion. Greene County Republican Representative Darren Chappell says local property tax increases are rising sharply and not being offset as intended under the Hancock Amendment.
I think anytime government at any level is taxing citizens to a degree that they may have to sell their family home, I believe that's unconscionable. And so I see that as a critical issue that has to be addressed in some function.
Boone County Democrat Kathy Steinhoff offered a different perspective based on what she heard during the statewide hearings.
Taxpayers say, I'm paying too much in my real property tax. Very few people talked about personal property tax. When I looked through my notes, I only found it referenced once or when we were out in the state.
One proposal would eliminate personal property tax and raise sales taxes instead. Critics warn smaller communities with limited economies could struggle to maintain essential services.
It appears home flippers are losing money these days.
It's getting less profitable to flip a home. Real estate data company Adams says in 2012, the typical flipped home netted a 62.9% return on investment before expenses. Now it's 25%. Flippers buy a home, typically with cash, then pay for any repairs or upgrades needed to spruce up the property before putting it back on the market. The shrinking profitability for flipping is largely due to home prices, which continue to climb nationally, but at a slower pace, driving up costs for investors. Home flipping profits have declined for more than a decade. The median price of a home flipped in the second quarter that was bought by an investor was $259,000, a record high according to data going back to 2000. I'm Ed Donahue.
It is 6:15.
The Cardinals open their final series of the season this afternoon at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. The Cards were eliminated from postseason contention with their Wednesday loss at San Francisco, and they can finish no better than a tie for third in the National League Central Division. That would require the Cardinals sweeping the weekend series of the Cubs and the Reds being swept in a weekend series at Milwaukee. A weekend sweep of the Cubs is also the only way for the Cardinals to finish at 500. Miles Mikolas makes the start today for the Cardinals, likely his last in a Cardinals uniform. Mikolas is 8-10 this season with a 4.76 earned run average over 30 starts. The right-handers enjoyed a strong finish to a tough season. In 4 starts in September, Mikolas is 2-0 with a 3.0 ERA, and he's averaged better than 5 innings per start. He struck out 10. He's walked just 4 over those 4 starts. The 37-year-old Mikolas will make his 204th appearance and 203rd start for the Cardinals. He is 68-68 with a 4.14 ERA in 7 years with St. Louis. He'll make his 25th career appearance, his 23rd career start against the Cubs. That's his most against any team. He's 6-7 with a 3.59 ERA in his career against the Cubs, and he's 3-4 in his career at Wrigley Field. Cubs have not determined their rotation yet for the series. First pitch today is 1:20, with Ameren Total Access coming at 12:25. St. Louis City will face LAFC tomorrow night. City is back at Energizer Park following back-to-back road wins at Montreal and San Jose. Interim head coach David Critchley spoke yesterday, said the team is seeing its hard work pay off.
I believe the harder you work, the luckier you get. I know that's always a quote that I try to live my life by. These guys work hard every single week. They've worked hard now they work hard every week since I've stepped into this job. But what we're starting to see now is all of that, whether it's a trend, a habit, a behavior, all of those words are used. You're starting to see them be really now utilized in the games as well. So they put themselves in a position where they fully deserve the results that they've been getting lately, these guys, because they've been working extremely hard every week now for many, many weeks.
An audio courtesy of St. Louis City. Kickoff is 7:30. Pregame is 7:15 on our sister station, Y98. The Ryder Cup is back on U.S. soil, and Dan Reardon has it covered.
2 teams, 7 countries, 24 players, 28 matches. It's the Ryder Cup at the Black Course at Bethpage State Park, and it gets underway this morning. The biannual matches pit the U.S. against Europe over 3 days, with the last 5 editions won on home turf. European captain Luke Donald returns 11 of the 12 players who easily defeated the U.S. squad in Rome 2 years ago. U.S. captain Keegan Bradley, at 39, is the youngest Ryder Cup captain since Arnold Palmer in the 60s. And the St. John's graduate played practice rounds with his college teammates at Bethpage. Team matches today and tomorrow, with singles on the slate on Sunday. Reporting on the Ryder Cup, Dan Reardon for KMOX Radio Sports.
Our next sports update is 6:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Get ready, because here they come.
1, 2, 3, 4!
It's Beatlemania all over again with the Fab Four, the ultimate tribute to the Beatles. Entertainment Tonight says seeing the Fab Four is just like seeing the Beatles.
Hey Jude.
The Fab Four takes you through the 60s with the music that changed our lives.
Yesterday.
It's a show you won't want to miss.
Saturday, October 4th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
And the Lovin' Spoonful.
Do you believe in magic?
Saturday, October 25th at the Family Arena with the Hollies' greatest hits, starring Terry Sylvester. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon and the Lovin' Spoonful.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Now, the news. At 1, the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Let's get a check of the roads now. Frank Ladd is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. How's it look right now, Frank?
Well, Megan, I'm watching flashing lights eastbound Highway 70 just past Lucas and Hunt. Reports of a crash there. So you've got emergency vehicles on the scene. When it came across on the scanner, there were also reports that both drivers had weapons. So police are on the scene of this crash eastbound Highway 70 just past Lucas and Hunt. Starting to see just a little bit of a backup there, a little bit of a slowdown approaching the scene. Westbound drivers are not impacted at all. Still seeing an issue with a closure eastbound Highway 5564 due to a crash near Route 3. It's on the Illinois side of the river. Not seeing many delays, so that's the good news. Into downtown St. Louis, westbound 5564. It's a great run crossing the Poplar Street Bridge. A few more headlights and taillights headed northbound on Highway 270 now north of 55 and also ramping on from 55 northbound. But no slow pockets, though, north of 55 through 44, headed up towards Highway 64. And the incident eastbound on Highway 64 near the Boone Bridge is not causing any issues. A great run in from St. Charles County to St. Louis County through that Chesterfield Valley area. And still watching this eastbound Highway 70 at Lucas and Hunt crash. A little more of a slowdown approaching that scene. Still can't tell if there's any lane blockage, though, in that situation. Our next update at 6:30, Frank Ladd, the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Your hunt for the perfect breakfast sandwich is over. Jack in the Box's sourdough scramblers starting at $2.99 come with toasted sourdough, scrambled eggs, melty cheese, and your choice of hickory smoked bacon or grilled sausage. Then does you one better by being available all day.
The weather is really going to be lovely. It's going to get a little bit hot Sunday and Monday, but still plenty of sunshine today with a high of 82, 84 tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, 86. Right now, it's 55 degrees with clear skies in downtown St. Louis.
The news continues at 6:22. A majority of Americans say they're falling behind on retirement savings. The Bankrate survey of workers shows some are having a hard time making that commitment in the current economy.
The big concern here, 23% said they didn't contribute last year. They're not contributing now.
Mark Hamrick, senior economic analyst at Bankrate, says less than a quarter of people report they're on pace to have enough money stashed away for their retirement years.
Scammers are using artificial intelligence to find new ways to separate you and your money. Correspondent Rob Hart of WBBM has more.
The Better Business Bureau can trace its origins to an effort to fight deceptive advertising over a century ago. Steve Burness, president of the Better Business Bureau of Chicago, says ripoff artists are turning to artificial intelligence to pull off the same old scams. Now they use AI to create fake ads for fake products.
Unless you're an AI expert, it's really hard to know all the nuances of AI, but it's infiltrating all sorts of scams. Like I was saying, and we were seeing last Christmas, where they actually create products, fake products. You can tell AI to create a product, create a marketing piece, and have it automatically put it on a website and start getting traffic to it.
St. Louis high school students won't just be hearing about careers in the trades coming up on Monday. They'll actually take a trip to a construction company and participate hands-on in simulated activity stations, which are based off of real-world projects.
It's super important to get in front of kids during an early age, during those formative years, as they're learning about different careers. And so you're starting to see the emergence of a lot of career and technical education coming back into schools.
Paul Robinson is founder and CEO of Construct Reach, a national organization which began in St. Louis. He says there are more retirements from the industry than new hires, and you can hear more in the 8 o'clock hour of Total Information AM.
It's called the nightmare bacteria, with 5 people dying after contracting it in Louisiana. We get more from KMOX health editor Fred Bottomer.
Infection rates from this drug-resistant bacteria rose almost 70% between 2019 and 2023 in the United States. This bacteria has been seen in locations all along the Gulf Coast. Fox News senior medical analyst Dr. Mark Siegel.
This particular bug does concern me because the only 2 antibiotics we have for it, you have to use in the hospital. And we're not even on the lookout for these infections early enough. So this is a wake-up call.
Dr. Siegel says they're seeing lingering urinary symptoms and lung infections from this bacteria that are hard to identify and even harder to treat. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The EU Commission is emphasizing the importance of a drone wall to protect the bloc.
Representatives from European countries with borders close to Russia and Ukraine are holding talks on building a drone wall to plug gaps in their defences, following several airspace violations. Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Poland have all been working on the drone wall project. EU Commission spokesman Thomas Renier says the list of countries participating has been expanded.
I mentioned the 7 frontline member states to that list. We have added Slovakia, we have added Ukraine, that was of course fully associated given their experience, and of course Denmark.
Jets scrambled on September 10 to shoot down a number of Russian drones that breached Polish airspace was one example, while airports in Denmark were temporarily closed this week after drones were flown nearby. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
If you want to avoid a stressful experience at the airport, stay away from the puddle jumpers.
Colorado's Aspen-Pitkin Airport has just been named the most stressful airport in the country. It scores a 4.95 out of 10, with almost 9% of its flights canceled and average departure delays topping 45 minutes. A new ranking from the CBD company, Mood.com, ranks tiny Watertown International in upstate New York the second most stressful, with an overall score of 4.68 and an 8.8% flight cancellation rate. Other high-stress hubs, Maryland's Hagerstown Regional, Chippewa Valley Regional in Wisconsin, and Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Merriam-Webster has announced a major update to its collegiate dictionary, adding more than 5,000 new words. The additions include petrichor, which describes the smell of rain on dry earth. There's also teraflop, a unit of computing speed. Others are beast mode, referring to intense effort, and love language, about expressing affection.
There's also Riz, slang for charisma, and hard pass, meaning a firm refusal. Dad bod, describing a certain physique, and side eye, look of disapproval. Farm to table, relating to locally sourced food, and dumb phone, which is basically a basic mobile phone. I thought maybe it'd be a landline.
Some of those seem like it took a long time for Merriam-Webster to incorporate them. They seem rather old at this point.
Those are funny, though. It is 6:27. The time check is sponsored for you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it forward, spell it backwards, always spells the same. Zero Res.
At 6:30, we have clear skies, 55 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch.
I'm Debbie Monterey, and this is Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, crews quickly cleared that crash, Highway 70 eastbound at Lucas and Hunt. They briefly had 2 right lanes closed, but all those lanes back open now, so those delays should be easing pretty quickly. Do have reports of a new crash, Highway 70 westbound at Goodfellow. Crews are working to get to that scene right now, and we still have that incident eastbound on Highway 5564 on the Illinois side of the Poplar Street Bridge with a couple lanes closed on the left-hand side. The good news is we're not seeing backups into downtown St. Louis on eastbound Highway 5564. Our next traffic update is at 6:40. I'm Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be sunny today, a warm afternoon, high 82 degrees, clear tonight with a low of 58, and then more sun tomorrow, a high of 84. Again, we have clear skies, 55 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
After a lengthy search, Greater St. Louis Inc. has named its new leader.
Ron Kitchens has been announced as their new CEO, a native of Ozark, Missouri, and graduate of Missouri State University. According to a press release from Greater St. Louis Inc., Kitchen comes from Wichita Falls, Texas, where he led their Chamber of Commerce and Industry. His bio says he helped bring the 3 largest private sector investments to Wichita Falls in their history. Kitchens is well-traveled, having worked in economic development for 30 years in Michigan and Alabama, along with Texas and Missouri. The timing of Kitchens' selections comes as the city wrestles with how and where to spend the Rams settlement money and major downtown redevelopments, including the Millennium Hotel. He's set to begin his role as CEO in November, nearly a year after the search began. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Nearly a decade ago, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency announced plans for a new campus in St. Louis. The new NGA West officially opens with a ceremony later this morning. Spokesman David Burzek tells KMOX the proliferation of data in the modern world calls for more analysis and collaboration.
It's going to require tools and tradecraft, new technologies, new techniques, as well as the skilled workforce to apply them. And that's really what guided us in how we designed and built this facility.
With today's opening of the new NGA building, what happens to the old one by the brewery? The federal agency will be moving into the new digs in phases. And once it's empty, if the property isn't acquired by another federal agency, the General Services Administration will deem it surplus. That means it could become available to local governments or nonprofits. Otherwise, it'll be put up for sale, usually by auction.
There's a new candidate in the 2026 race for Illinois governor. Republican Darren Bailey officially launched his campaign for governor Thursday with 3 stops around the state. Bailey is making a second attempt for the office after losing to current governor J.B. Pritzker in 2022.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It's 6:33.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan, along with Dr. Colleen Bosler and Dr. Adam Voss at the Audiology Center. When was the last time you really enjoyed a conversation without straining to hear?
Charlie, so many people think hearing aids just make things louder.
But that's old technology. Today's hearing aids do so much more.
Exactly. With the dual chip technology, our hearing aids actually separate the speech from the background noise.
Which means at a noisy restaurant, you'll hear your friends and family, not the clinking dishes.
And the best part, your brain doesn't have to work overtime trying to fill in the blanks.
So that keeps your mind sharp, your conversations easy, and your relationships stronger.
Because hearing well isn't just about sound, it's about staying connected.
Thanks, Doctor. Call the Audiology Center today to schedule your annual hearing evaluation. Don't miss another moment. Call 636-441-7470 or visit theaudiologycenterstl.com.
It's 6:34, time for your money report, sponsored by Eamon Gattner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
Good morning. Plans for U.S. investors to buy TikTok's American operations are moving forward. President Trump signed an executive order with officials setting a potential value of $14 billion. That's a whole lot lower than what many expected. Previous projections have estimated the value being closer to $40 billion. It seems Wall Street wasn't impressed with the announcement by Starbucks that it's cutting 900 jobs and closing 1% of its stores. Shares for the company finished down 1%. Bloomberg's restaurant analyst Michael Halen says that one reason the reaction wasn't bigger was because the coffee giant had already indicated during its last earnings call that cuts were probably coming. Boeing just landed one of its biggest deals this year, with Turkish Airlines agreeing to buy as many as 225 jets. According to a stock exchange filing today, Turkey's flagship carrier will purchase 50 787 Dreamliners with options for 25 more. Deliveries are scheduled to begin between 2029 and 2034. With your Bloomberg Money Report, I'm Kimberly Adams on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman. At St. Louis Composting, they transform organic yard waste, branches, leaves, grass clippings, and more into premium compost through a 6-month static composting process. As the largest and most trusted compost provider in the St. Louis area, they are committed to producing only the best. Enjoy your outdoor space this spring with vegetable gardens and fresh landscaping. And with St. Louis Composting, you can order online for delivery or pickup premium soil, compost, and mulch at any of their 9 locations. That website is stlcompost.com. stlcompost.com. St. Louis Composting, growing gardens, making memories. And whether you're looking for bulk compost or just a few bags, St. Louis Composting can provide that. An extensive selection. Order online for convenient delivery to your home or job site. St. Louis Composting, stlcompost.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home. 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at progressive.com.
Fridays mean football. From the zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
On 3, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
It is 6:38 and the news continues. The Tower Grove Connector is well underway, a protected pedestrian and bike path connecting Cortex and Tower Grove Park. It's a part of the Brickline Greenway. Thursday morning at the park, there was a groundbreaking for a new building at the end of that connector that will include concessions, a catering kitchen, bike service station, and more restrooms. Alderwoman Daniela Velasquez says the park is the heart of her ward.
This facility will not only serve park patrons, but also people using the Tower Grove Connector. At the same time, the residents' garden will be converted into a beautiful revenue-generating event space.
Mayor Kara Spencer says she was on her bicycle over the weekend checking out some of the parts of the connector and envisioning what it will soon be.
This project will enhance the visitor experience with new amenities that are long overdue expanded. The restrooms are really on the top of my list.
The funding comes from the park's Common Ground campaign, which has already raised more than $19 million. Additionally, 4 of the park's Victorian pavilions are being restored, thanks in part to a $500,000 National Park Service grant.
U.S. Senator Dick Durbin says he hopes Illinois' congressional Democrats will meet with ICE officials this week about the agency's immigration enforcement operations in Chicago. Capitol News Illinois reports Durbin and other lawmakers are seeking answers about how many people have been arrested in Chicago area raids.
This report is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
It is 6:40 and time for us to get you a check of traffic and weather. And we start with Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Debbie, as quickly as they cleared that crash eastbound Highway 70 at Lucas and Hunt, we've got a new crash now. It's westbound Highway 70 at Riverview. Watching it on the Riverview camera, the 2 left through lanes are blocked. Lots of emergency vehicles on the scene here, so you can get by in the right lane as well as the right exit ramp past Riverview. So that's the good news, but you do have a slowdown approaching that scene, and this one was reported with entrapment in a vehicle that pulled her out, but they reported severe injuries in this crash. Into downtown St. Louis, we are delay-free, westbound 5564 crossing the Poplar Street Bridge. That's the good news. The bad news is if you're headed eastbound on 5564, there's an accident on the Illinois side of the Poplar Street Bridge near Route 3, so that's what's causing a pocket of volume there headed east, headed towards the Highway 70 merge. A few more headlights and taillights making your way northbound on Highway 55 starting at Weber Road, headed into the work zone. Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. Our next traffic update at 6:50. Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's 6:41, and it looks like we're going to have a really nice weekend. A little warm, though. Let's check in on that forecast with AccuWeather's Heather Zaire.
It definitely is going to be on the warm side. At the end of September, we would typically here in St. Louis top out at about 77 degrees. We're going to get up to 82 with plenty of sunshine for today, then drop back down into the upper 50s under clear skies tonight. And the warmth and the sunshine are both going to stick with us, not just this weekend, but right on into early next week as well. We've got a high of 84 with sunshine tomorrow, and then Sunday and Monday will both stay sunny and top out at 86 degrees. And we're still at 84, even with some high clouds starting to mixing with the sun on Tuesday. 55 in St. Peters right now, 57 in Florissant, and 60 downtown at the Arch. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Joe Pott. As the Cards play their final series of the year, we'll tell you who's hot for the Redbirds. That's straight ahead in sports.
It is 6:42. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted on 2 federal counts days after President Trump publicly urged his attorney general to pursue charges. Last night, Comey proclaimed his innocence in a social media post. Here's CBS's Jared Hill.
James Comey, once the nation's top cop, now under criminal indictment.
I'm innocent.
The former FBI director is set to be arraigned in a Virginia federal courtroom in 2 weeks. Thursday, a grand jury indicted Comey on 2 charges: obstruction of a congressional proceeding and making a false statement, both connected to Comey's testimony before a Senate committee in 2020, during which he denied authorizing the leak of information to the press 4 years earlier. Last night, President Trump claimed victory on social media, posting "Justice in America."
Congressional Democrats slamming the indictment as an attack on the rule of law and a dangerous abuse of power.
A top Democrat donor hits back at word his charity is being investigated.
The Open Society charity funded by George Soros is blasting the Trump administration for what it calls politically motivated attacks on civil society. This after President Trump accused Soros, without evidence, of being part of a vast conspiracy to finance violent anti-government protesters, and ordered the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force to investigate possible connections to domestic terrorism. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Turkish Airlines has announced plans to add 225 Boeing aircraft to its fleet. The announcement was made today in a declaration to the Istanbul Stock Exchange. The company is in negotiations for engines and maintenance services. Turkish Airlines operates one of the world's largest flight networks.
Correspondent Michael George now on why your sense of smell could be getting worse without you realizing it.
Many people who caught COVID now have a weaker sense of smell, and they may not even realize it. An NYU Langone health study tested COVID patients and found 2/3 of people who didn't report any problems with their sense of smell still scored low on smell tests. Researchers say the number of people with a diminished sense of smell may be much higher than previously thought.
There's an auction coming up to honor the man who brought us the Muppets.
Why be you when you could be moi?
The Jim Henson Company is auctioning off more than 400 archival puppets, props, and pieces to mark what would have been its founder's 89th birthday. There are treasures from Sesame Street, The Muppets, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, and Fraggle Rock. Bidding begins online and at the company's headquarters in Hollywood, October 22nd. Proceeds will benefit the Jim Henson Company Archives. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Who's Hot is sponsored by St. Louis Composting. Order online for delivery or pick up premium soil, compost, and mulch at any of our 9 locations. St. Louis Composting, growing gardens, making memories. Cardinals catcher turned DH Ivan Herrera is finishing his best offensive season of his young career, and that's despite spending 2 separate stints on the injured list this year. Herrera is sitting on 19 home runs, looking to become just the second Cardinal to get to 20 homers this year. Cardinals catcher turned first baseman Wilson Contreras did it earlier this year. Herrera didn't homer Wednesday, but had homered in 3 straight games prior to Wednesday's loss. He has 5 homers, 11 RBIs, and a 1.057 OPS over his last 15 games. The Cards are in Chicago to face the Cubs in the final series of the season. Miles Michaelis works for the Redbirds in what is likely his final start in a St. Louis uniform. First pitch today is 1:20. Pregame coverage here on Camo X gets started at 12:25. It's homecoming at Mizzou and Illinois. Number 20, Mizzou is 3-0 after the win over South Carolina last week. They'll face UMass tomorrow night in Columbia. UMass is 0-3. They're coming off a 47-7 loss at Iowa a week ago. The game tomorrow, 6:30 kickoff on ESPNU. Number 23, Illinois, looking to rebound after a 63-10 loss last week at Indiana. The Illini have number 21, USC, in Champaign tomorrow morning. USC is 4-0 after a 45-31 home win over Michigan State last week. Kickoff tomorrow is 11 in the morning on Fox. The Ryder Cup gets underway today, and Dan Reardon has more.
No event in professional golf features more histrionics on the course than the Ryder Cup matches between Europe and the U.S. every 2 years. This morning at Bethpage Black on Long Island, the stage belongs to the opening foursome. Bryson DeChambeau, the king of social media and professional golf, pairs with Justin Thomas, the 4-time emotional leader of the U.S. teams, their first out against Europe's Jon Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton, both members of the LIV Tour. Rahm and Hatton have been virtually unbeatable when paired in their brief history, and both have battled tempers when they play. The two teams, for the first time ever, feature their top player as numbers 1 and 2 in the world. Number 1, Scottie Scheffler for the U.S., number 2, Rory McIlroy for the Europeans. Scheffler follows the first match paired with Russell Henley, and McIlroy follows Scheffler paired with Tommy Fleetwood. 4 balls on the menu in the afternoon. Reporting on the Ryder Cup, Dan Reardon for KMOX Radio Sports.
St. Louis City has just 3 games remaining on its 2025 schedule, including tomorrow night at Energizer Park. They'll face LAFC. Kickoff is set for 7:30. Pregame comes up at 7:15 on our sister station, Y98. Next sports update is 7:15. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, Camo X.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Cardinal Cowboy here. After a coma, a miracle, and the fight of my life, I made it back to the games wearing my signature cowboy hat and jersey. Then came the baseball pants, the replica trophy, and the smiles and joy from the young fans. That's when the Cardinal Cowboy was born. Renner Garage Door knows how to bring joy too. With top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, and family service you can trust, get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER. KingMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. And right now, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is offering their lowest ticket price in years, starting at $55 including fees, only for a limited time. For more info, KingMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM. The news continues on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's 6:50. Let's see how things are going for you out there on the roads this morning. Frank Ladd is watching out for you from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Megan, drivers headed westbound on Highway 70 out of the city are going to run into volume at Shreve up to an accident near Riverview. This one involves multi-vehicles there, and it's blocking the two left lanes. So you can get by the accident in the far right lane as well as the exit lane just past Riverview. So that's the good news, but it is a slow stretch there starting at Shreve. MoDOT saying it's going to be another hour or so until they get that crash cleared off the Illinois side of the Poplar Street Bridge. That's reports from MoDOT in conjunction with IDOT. So you've got eastbound drivers slowing, crossing the Poplar, headed into the Metro East. Westbound drivers slowing as well, coming around the bend into downtown St. Louis on westbound 5564. Delays into the work zone northbound on Highway 55 this morning. Those are just a little off the pace now, starting at Weber Road. North of there through South City, not seeing any issues. No major delays this morning so far. Headed northbound on Highway 270 between 5544 and Highway 64. And we're sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. Our next traffic update at 6:58. Frank Ladd of the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said, call Jerry Kelly, man, JerryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late, JerryKelly.com.
You probably will need the air conditioning this weekend. It's going to be in the 80s until further notice. 82 today with plenty of sunshine, 84 tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, 86 both days. Currently it's clear and 55 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
The news continues now at 6:52. MoDOT celebrating the end of its lengthy Lindbergh Improvement Project. A ribbon cutting this morning at 9 marks the completion of work on the corridor between Page and Swan, which included a 2-month shutdown for a bridge replacement.
Powell Hall is reopening this weekend after a 2-year, $140 million renovation project. As upgrades were being made, a new 3-story lobby was added, along with a new education and learning center. Brian Corey with Kierkegaard Design says the old acoustic sound panels on the walls of the ground floor created dead spots.
But what was there before was a surface that was curved and spreading sound horizontally. We changed those out with one that's curved horizontally, but also vertically. So the sound is not only spreading side to side, but it's going up and down. And it allows sound to come back to stage so they can hear themselves, because we want them to hear the room, but it's not coming back as a big wave of energy that is distracting.
The first concerts of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra's 146th season at the newly renovated Powell Hall will be today through Sunday.
Commuters kept watch by the glow of their cell phones at a major transit hub in the Northeast.
New York City's Grand Central Terminal was plunged into complete darkness last night.
I tried to play dumb, like I was not scared, but I was terrified.
The lights went out, and I didn't know what was going on. I'm a New Yorker, born and raised, and I've never seen this before in Grand Central.
The MTA says 5 workers were trapped in elevators before the power was restored. About 45 minutes later, no injuries reported. The transit agency blames a drop in voltage to a feeder network. One diner at Grand Central's famed Oyster Bar was unfazed, telling the New York Post nobody reacted. It was like a total New York moment. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News, New York.
It was only a matter of time before streaming movies at home became more popular than going to the theater. But according to a new survey, we are officially there. About 3/4 of American adults who've recently watched a new movie said they saw it at home, either because they can't find the time to go to the theater or because the theater has gotten way too expensive. 3 in 10 of us stream a new blockbuster once a month.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
Today's KMOX birthday shout-out sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER. Forward and back, family-owned and top-rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. Some celebrity birthdays for this Friday, September 26th, include singer Brian Ferry. He's 80 years old.
Stop it.
Yeah, I know, right. Actor Linda Hamilton, 69. Actor Jim Caviezel is 57. And Hockey Hall of Famers Daniel and Henrik Sedin, 45.
Local celebrity birthdays include a happy 2nd to Louis Spring and a happy 11th to Kenny Spring from Poppy and Grandma. Happy wedding anniversary to Maggie Moran and Drew Ruther. Happy birthday, Brenda Lauber from the Breakfast Group. Michelle Jenkins of Glendale from Mom and the Family. Also happy birthday wishes to Barb Disler, Ed Collins, Scott Jenkins, Ida Stallions, Nora Kiley from the Church Chicks, Jessica Bueller, Odyssey St. Louis's own Ethan Bright, and Katie Trapp. And happy birthday going out to Aaron Schultz and Bridget Andrews.
This is the best birthday ever.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
This is Megan Lynch, and as I age, it's even more important that I take care of my eyes. I actually just saw Dr. Greg Birdie at Ophthalmology Associates in the last couple of weeks, and it wasn't a regular appointment. I had an emergency. I was having some scary symptoms, so I called the office. I was in an exam room in just a few hours. You can have the same care when you call 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com. Unfortunately, it was nothing serious, just an age-related problem. But Ophthalmology Associates has the latest technology to see inside your eyes and detect issues without discomfort. In fact, some of the tests and the imaging they do is pretty cool. They have a fantastic support staff as well that guides you through the process and explains everything that they are going to send you through. Call 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com. The doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. From issues like dry eye to things like cataracts and glaucoma, the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates can guide you through your diagnosis and your treatment options. Again, call Ophthalmology Associates 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Let's check in with Frank Ladd. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, drivers are on the brakes now. Westbound Highway 70 starting at Shreve out to an accident near Riverview. It's blocking the two left lanes. You can make your way around it in that far right lane. So lots of emergency vehicles still on the scene, but some are starting to pull away. So that's the good news. It's westbound Highway 70 at Riverview where this accident is. Still dealing with the accident, eastbound Highway 5564 on the Illinois end of the Poplar Street Bridge. No major delays into downtown. You do have volume into downtown, though, westbound 5564 from the King Bridge split towards the Poplar. Our next traffic update at 7:10. Frank Ladd of the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The sun is starting to come up. We have 55 degrees downtown at the Arch. These are the stories making news.
The proposed Green Line expansion could now become a bus line instead. Coming up, I've got reaction from the NAACP.
I'm Debbie Monterey. Following CBS News, we'll hear from Michael Calhoun about changes for Manchester Road in Brentwood.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer. Lots of sunshine today, warming up to a high of 82.
I'm Joe Pott. Just 3 games remain for the Redbirds as they open a weekend series today at Wrigley Field. I've got more coming up in sports.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is the CBS News World News Roundup, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump has gotten his wish for the indictment of one of his most outspoken critics. Correspondent Scott McFarland reports from Washington.
James Comey, who was fired as FBI director by President Trump in 2017, was charged with 2 federal counts Thursday.
I have great confidence in the federal judicial system. I'm innocent.
Comey is charged with obstruction of a congressional proceeding and making a false statement when he denied authorizing leaking information to the press during Senate testimony in 2020.
CBS News legal analyst Caroline Polisi believes the president's social media posts could backfire.
You can bet your bottom dollar that the first motion Comey and his attorneys will be making is one for a selective and vindictive prosecution. And they've got the evidence there in the form of that Truth Social tweet, which is one of the strongest cases I've ever seen for a selective prosecution.
The statute of limitations in the case was due to expire next week. President Trump has announced a new round of taxes on imports. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
We have a 100% tariff on all imported pharmaceuticals, a 50% tariff on kitchen cabinets, 30% on upholstered furniture, and a 25% on heavy-duty trucks. That is how your groceries get to the grocery store. So if the costs for those go up, it could trickle down to your groceries.
The new tariffs are set to kick in next Wednesday. An independent review finds a series of breakdowns in the response to Southern California's devastating Palisades and Eaton fires. CBS's Carter Evans reports from Los Angeles.
The report stopped short of assigning blame, but found plenty of factors that created delays both in the emergency response and in providing alerts. 31 people died in the fires. More than 16,000 structures were destroyed.
The cause of the fires is still under investigation. Officials in Washington state say forensic tests confirm remains found in a wooded area last week are those of a former Army soldier wanted in the murders of his 3 young daughters in May. Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison.
We have received our DNA results back from the Washington State Patrol's crime lab from the items that we recovered last week. That would be the clothing and also the human remains. We are glad to say that those remains do come back as a positive match for Travis Decker.
An ancient skull unearthed in China could rewrite the story of human evolution. CBS's Vicki Barker has the story from the Foreign Desk.
The finding that a large-brained cousin to Neanderthals and us Homo sapiens was walking the earth in China 1 million years ago, 400,000 years earlier than thought, and, well, on the wrong continent, Asia, not Africa.
Dow futures up 65. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A renegade.
It is 7:04, and right now in downtown St. Louis, it is mostly sunny and 55 degrees. The news is sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. I'm Debbie Monterey.
And I'm Megan Lynch. Bi-State Development's board could vote today on ending plans to build a Metrolink light rail line connecting North and South St. Louis.
The proposal calls instead for the Green Line to focus on new rapid transit bus lines, citing the expansion being unlikely to receive the federal funding needed. NAACP President Adolphus Pruitt says he isn't happy to see the city ignoring the voters who approved a tax increase to fund the Green Line.
We don't feel that we're going to be successful getting funding in the future to make it happen. So we're just going to undo what you went to the polls to do and make a decision on our own.
In a statement to KMOX, Mayor Kara Spencer said the over $1 billion price tag of the project was not worth only building 6 miles of line and 10 stops. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The new NGA West campus in North St. Louis has its ceremonial grand opening later this morning, nearly a decade after it was proposed. Spokesman David Berzek tells KMOX the headquarters was planned for collaboration.
We have a good portion of the building that is actually designed to be used as more unclassified space. And we have a learning center and an innovation center that we have designed specifically to be able to interact better with vendors or with entrepreneurs or researchers.
The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency's role is to provide geospatial intelligence to aid the military, national security, and first responders.
Sections of a vacant 2-story building collapsed in a North St. Louis fire overnight. The city fire department reports it happened in the 3000 block of North Taylor. Crews arrived to find heavy smoke in the basement, the flames threatening some nearby buildings. No injuries reported.
A judge sides with the city of Brentwood on a massive redevelopment project.
A St. Louis County Circuit Court judge upheld the city's decision to declare a 48-acre area as blighted. That dismisses a lawsuit filed by some residents who argued their well-maintained homes were not blighted and they feared their property could be seized. The ruling allows a $700 million project by developer Halo Real Estate Ventures to proceed. They took over from the original developers Green Street, who were behind the Armory and Bar K. The plan includes new apartments, offices, and retail space along Manchester Road. Brentwood officials say they're pleased with the court's decision. Quote, "We look forward to moving ahead in a way that strengthens Brentwood and benefits the broader region." Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
After searching for nearly a year, Greater St. Louis Inc. has named a new CEO. The city's economic development group chose Ron Kitchens to be their new man in charge. He comes from Wichita Falls, Texas, where he ran their Chamber of Commerce for 3 years, bringing the 3 largest private investments in the city's history. Kitchens is originally from Ozark, Missouri, while his wife Lynn is a St. Louis native. He starts the job in November.
Coming up Monday, local high schoolers won't be in the classroom. They'll be inside a construction facility getting a firsthand try at the skilled trades. Paul Robinson is founder and CEO of the organization Construct Reach.
Construct Reach is a workforce development consultancy that really seeks to address the need to backfill the construction industry, as we have an entire generation that's aging out, and we're not backfilling those positions at the same rate.
The I Build This Day is happening at Murphy Mechanical. Robinson says 80% of the students who participate in these events become more interested in joining the trades. You can hear more coming up at 8:25 this morning on Total Information AM.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, Turkish Airlines has announced plans to add 225 Boeing aircraft to its fleet. The announcement was made today in a declaration to the Istanbul Stock Exchange. The company is in negotiations for engines and maintenance services. Turkish Airlines operates one of the world's largest flight networks.
And we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have traffic and weather for you and more news. It's Total Information AM on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, focusing on the Siteman Kids program at St. Louis Children's Hospital and Dr. Mohammed Abdul-Baki.
We have a large global program that people do not know about, thinking this is St. Louis and in the center of the country, and we get consulted on a large number of international consults.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
Let's get you updated on your ride into work now. Frank Ladd is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Paying attention to this crash now, Highway 70 westbound near Riverview, blocking the two left lanes. That as you backed up to about Shreve, you can make your way around the crash in that right lane and the right exit lane. It's a little bit of a slowdown there from Shreve now. West of there, pretty good run headed out towards Lambert Field. In North County, westbound on Highway 270 this morning, we are delay-free crossing the Chain of Rocks Bridge up to the Interbelt. Both ends of the Interbelt look good so far this morning, as do that Central Corridor eastbound on Highway 64 between Lindbergh and Big Bend. No major delays there. Still dealing with that crash in the Metro East. It's eastbound 5564 on the Illinois end of the Poplar Street Bridge. No delays into downtown St. Louis. That's good news. Good news as well into downtown, westbound 5564 crossing the Poplar, westbound Highway 70. No issues to report there as well. Moving at or above the speed limit in most cases. And headed northbound on Highway 270, a great run now between 5544, just a little extra volume approaching Manchester Road. North of there, not bad, headed towards 64. Our next traffic update at 7:20. I'm Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. Warming up today, we'll have plenty of sunshine with a high of 82 degrees. Then it's going to be clear tonight, and we'll have a low of 58. Plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. It'll warm up even more with a high of 84, and even warmer for Sunday with a good deal of sunshine and a high of 86. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is sunny and 55 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
One final series for the Redbirds. St. Louis City is at home. I've got details on both coming straight up in sports.
It's 7:12. They broke ground yesterday at Tower Grove Park for two major initiatives, restoring 4 of the park's Victorian pavilions and a new building that will serve those using the Tower Grove Connector, the protected pedestrian bike path connecting Cortex and the park. Park Executive Director Bill Reininger says the additions are made possible through the generosity of those donating to the Common Ground campaign.
This history-making effort has already raised more than $19.2 million for projects and endowment support. In addition, through generous donors like the Crawford Taylor Foundation and Laughlin family, more than $5.5 million has been added to the park's endowment in recent years.
The new building will include restrooms, concessions, a bike service station, and catering kitchen. A new Victorian garden will add more event space for weddings and special events.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe says he's ready to put his signature on a bill to redraw the state's congressional map, his office announcing a bill signing for Sunday. It's been almost 2 weeks since Missouri lawmakers wrapped up their fast-moving special session to redraw that map.
An extra cheesy menu item from a Midwest fast food chain is designed to succeed on two fronts. WBBM's Rob Hart has more.
It was once an April Fool's prank. Now it's an annual tradition. Culver's will reintroduce the Curder Burger later this month. It's a deluxe hamburger with a giant cheese curd in the middle. Culver's will then roll out jalapeno cheese curds later in October. Izzy Karish, president of Hospitality Works in Chicago, tells the Noon Business Hour that specialty menu items need to build business and break through on social media.
There's a lot of competition out there, but when they announce something and it hits, they've really created something exciting for the long-term future.
The Curder Burger will be available from September 29th through October 14th at Culver's, and then the jalapeno curds will be available from October 15th through the 31st.
Starbucks said Thursday it is closing hundreds of stores in the U.S., Canada, and Europe and laying off 900 non-retail employees so it can focus resources on its turnaround plan. The Seattle coffee giant wouldn't say exactly how many stores it is closing, but the company expects to end its fiscal year this Sunday with 434 fewer stores in North America than it had at the end of June.
There are health benefits for those who grew up with a dog in the house. Here's CBS correspondent Michael George.
Babies who grow up around dogs have a lower risk of developing asthma. Canadian researchers say the reasons why aren't clear, but exposure to dog allergens at a young age could help desensitize the respiratory system. The research also showed that exposure to cats at a young age did not have the same effect on asthma risk.
Well, the Cardinals open that final series of the season this afternoon at Wrigley Field. They were eliminated from postseason contention with their Wednesday loss at San Francisco, and they can finish no better than a tie for third in the National League Central Division. That, however, would require them to sweep the weekend series against the Cubs, and the Reds would have to be swept in their weekend series at Milwaukee. A weekend sweep of the Cubs, that is also the only way the Cardinals can finish at 500. Miles Michaelis is your player to bank on. That's sponsored by Community America Credit Union. Invested in you. Michaelis makes the start today, which is likely his last in a Cardinals uniform. He's 8-10 this season with a 4.76 earned run average over 30 starts. Right-hander has enjoyed a strong finish to a tough season. In 4 September starts, Michaelis is 2-0 with a 3.0 ERA and has averaged better than 5 innings per start. He struck out 10 and has walked just 4 over those 4 starts. The 37-year-old will make his 204th appearance for the Cardinals, 203rd career start. He's 68-68 with a 4.14 ERA in 7 years in St. Louis. He'll make his 25th career appearance and 23rd career start against the Cubs. That's his most against any team. He's 6-7 with a 3.59 ERA in his career against the Cubs. He's 3-4 in his career at Wrigley Field. The Cubs have not yet finalized a rotation for the series. First pitch is 1:20 this afternoon. Ameren Total Access is at 12:25. St. Louis City will face LAFC tomorrow night. They're back at Energizer Park following back-to-back road wins at Montreal and San Jose. Interim head coach David Critchley spoke yesterday, said the team has had a good week.
We know we had 2 wins. We had 2 good performances, 2 good results away from home. But we wanted to remain in a position where we stay really focused because we know we have a big game this weekend back at home against LAFC. So the week's been good. We prepared well physically in our first 2 days, and then today we just kind of started to introduce some tactical stuff that we want to focus on for the game. So it's been a good week by the lads.
An audio courtesy of St. Louis City. Kickoff tomorrow is 7:30. Pregame is 7:15 on Y98. The Ryder Cup is back in the U.S., and Dan Reardon's got that one covered for us.
2 teams, 7 countries, 24 players, 28 matches. It's the Ryder Cup at the Black Course at Bethpage State Park, and it gets underway this morning. The biannual matches pit the U.S. against Europe over 3 days, with the last 5 editions won on home turf. European captain Luke Donald returns 11 of the 12 players who easily defeated the U.S. squad in Rome 2 years ago. U.S. captain Keegan Bradley, at 39, is the youngest Ryder Cup captain since Arnold Palmer in the 60s. and the St. John's graduate played practice rounds with his college teammates at Bethpage. Team matches today and tomorrow with singles on the slate on Sunday. Reporting on the Ryder Cup, Dan Reardon for KMOX Radio Sports.
Our next sports update comes up at 7:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is Todd Krentz with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. We work closely with professionals in healthcare, from doctors and nurses to medical sales in biotech and pharma. Our team helps you navigate complex financial decisions like retirement plans, disability insurance, consolidating old 401ks, and understanding stock options or RSUs. We make the process clear so you can focus on what you do best. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is our broker-dealer.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. This is your last chance to live in a brand new home at The Preserve, located at Mackenzie and Watson Roads. We have 5 outstanding homes ready for move-in at amazing prices and special financing as low as 4.75%. Choose from ranch or 1.5-story homes backing to woods. Our luxurious Turnberry display is now for sale. Also, get up to $10,000 in free closing costs. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 7:20. We need to get you another check of the roads on this Friday morning, get you to work safely. Frank Ladd has the latest from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
I'll start with the good news. All lanes are back open now, westbound Highway 70 at Riverview, so those delays behind that accident should be easing up rather quickly. We do have some sunshine slowdowns coming in from St. Charles County, eastbound on Highway 70, so pay attention there. Make your way towards the Blanchette Bridge. Eastbound 64, not seeing any delays now coming in from St. Charles County to St. Louis County, crossing the Boone Bridge. A little bit of volume coming up that hill, passing 141 from Clarkson, headed towards Mason Road. A little pocket of volume as well, eastbound on Highway 64, passing 170, headed up towards Big Bend. Volume into that work zone, northbound on Highway 55, but not bad, starting at Weber Road, headed towards South City. North of there, a great run into downtown St. Louis. Into downtown, westbound 55-64, we are delay-free crossing the Poplar, westbound Highway 70. Similar story. Our next traffic update at 7:30, Frank Ladd and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Let's take a look at that forecast at 7:21. We've got plenty of sunshine ahead of us and fairly warm temperatures for September heading into October. 82 today, 84 tomorrow. And then Sunday and Monday, it's going to be 86 both days. Right now, it's 55 degrees in downtown St. Louis. Oh, and the weather, by the way, is sponsored for you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The news continues at 7:22. Powell Hall is reopening this weekend after a 2-year, $140 million renovation and expansion. Stuart McMillan on hand for rehearsal as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra was tuning up for its first performance back home.
It's clean and fresh, literally fresh paint signs still on many of the walls as I walk the red carpeted foyers and passageways. Anna Levy was the project manager for the renovation and expansion.
Some of the obvious things are more elevators, more restrooms, more accessibility. We actually have fewer seats, but the seats are slightly bigger, more legroom, easier to get to, and they have cup holders.
Brian Corey with design firm Kierkegaard was in charge of designing new acoustic panels so that everyone sitting on stage and on the ground floor could hear.
The actual acoustics on stage and on the main floor
were good, but we saw opportunities for improvement.
The first concerts of the SLSO's 146th season at the newly renovated Powell Hall will be today through Sunday.
Doctors are keeping a close eye out for a dangerous drug-resistant bacteria deemed the nightmare bacteria in the wake of 5 recent deaths in Louisiana. KMOX health editor Fred Bottomer has more.
Infection rates from this drug-resistant bacteria rose almost 70% between 2019 and 2023 in the United States. This bacteria has been seen in locations all along the Gulf Coast. Fox News senior medical analyst Dr. Mark Siegel.
We see urinary symptoms from this. It can be a bloodborne bacteria, and it also can cause lung infection. So be on the lookout for early urinary infections and lung infections.
It's likely many people are unrecognized carriers of this drug-resistant bacteria, which could lead to community spread, according to the CDC. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Syphilis cases in newborns continue to rise.
Cases of newborn syphilis are rising in the U.S. New CDC data shows cases of the sexually transmitted infection, which can be passed from mothers to babies, are up nearly 700% since 2015. The data also shows other sexually transmitted infections are declining in the U.S., with experts crediting greater awareness and prevention tools.
Syphilis in newborns can cause lifelong medical issues such as vision or hearing loss, intellectual disability, and more.
It appears home flippers are losing money these days.
It's getting less profitable to flip a home. Real estate data company Adam says in 2012, the typical flipped home netted a 62.9% return on investment before expenses. Now it's 25%. Flippers buy a home, typically with cash, then pay for any repairs or upgrades needed to spruce up the property before putting it back on the market. The shrinking profitability for flipping is largely due to home prices, which continue to climb nationally, but at a slower pace, driving up costs for investors. Home flipping profits have declined for more than a decade. The median price of a home flipped in the second quarter that was bought by an investor was $259,000, a record high according to data going back to 2000. I'm Ed Donahue.
President Trump putting import taxes of 100% on pharmaceutical drugs, 50% on kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities, 30% on upholstered furniture, and 25% on heavy trucks starting October 1st. Mr. Trump said Thursday on his social media site that foreign manufacturers of furniture and cabinetry were flooding the United States with products and that tariffs must be applied, quote, for national security and other reasons, close quote. Trump said that foreign-made heavy trucks and parts are hurting domestic producers.
Investigators say they are sure of the motive behind a deadly shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas that killed 1 detainee and injured 2 others. The FBI said the gunman left handwritten notes that provided clues. The Bureau says the gunman hated the government and wanted to terrorize and kill ICE agents. No agents were actually shot in the attack. We get more from CBS's Omar Villafranca in Dallas.
DHS officials say that during the shooting, ICE agents actually managed to move a few of the detainees who were constrained in that van out of harm's way. We were also pressing DHS officials on what they plan to do to secure facilities. They didn't want to go into detail, but they said the plans are being discussed.
A discovery in China could rewrite the story of human evolution.
When the team of Chinese and British scientists first unearthed the million-year-old skull they named Yunxiang 2, they assumed it belonged to our early ancestor, Homo erectus. But when they ran it through all the existing tests and models, it came back as an early version of Homo longi, a sister species to the Neanderthals and, well, to us, Homo sapiens. Now, that's a good 400,000 years earlier than it was believed large-brained humans evolved, suggesting that modern humans may have come not from Africa, but Asia. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
It is 7:27, the time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Well, once again, it's another week, another report on housing and sales and whether things are going up or down. And you know what? You don't have to pay any attention to that if you're about to sell a home. What you need to pay attention to is picking the right agent. So if you're interviewing agents, make sure you call Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, well, the name says it all. She guarantees in writing that she'll sell your home. Can the other agents you talk to guarantee the same? She also guarantees that she'll sell your home at 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. So don't risk working with someone who doesn't have the guarantees or the buyers or the experience to sell your home within your time frame and for the most money. A lot of realtors, when you interview them, they'll overprice your home. They'll say, we'll get this amount. So you go, ooh, wow, yes. And then you pick them, but then it sits on the market and it goes nowhere. And then they have to reduce the price. That doesn't happen with Gloria. Give her a call today if you have any questions. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. You can find her online right now at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Guys, Glover here for my friends at my favorite sports fantasy app, Underdog. So baseball's still going on. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri. Playing on Underdog is super easy. Just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the Underdog app today and sign up with promo code Glover to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Glover. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog, and you could be next. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
At 7:30, we have sunny skies now, 56 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch.
I'm Debbie Monterey, and this is Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
MoDOT now reporting that the incident on the Poplar Street Bridge eastbound on Highway 64 has been cleared. So that's the good news. They've cleared that incident out of the way. Westbound Highway 70 at Riverview. Those delays that had been back to Shreve are gone as well. Northbound on 55, the heavier stretches into the work zone starting at about Weber Road. South City Run looks good headed towards downtown St. Louis. Northbound 270, not bad. A little off the pace at Gravois up to about 44. North of there, a good run headed towards 64. Coming in from St. Charles County, just those sunshine slowdowns headed eastbound on Highway 70, starting at about Lake St. Louis, again at near 79 and 370, headed towards the Blanchette Bridge. Our next traffic update at 7:40. I'm Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be a sunny and warm afternoon, a high of 82 degrees today. Clear skies overnight, a low of 58. And then another sunny, warm day tomorrow with a high of 84. Currently, we have sunshine, 56 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Nearly a decade ago, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency announced plans for a new campus in St. Louis. Well, that new NGA West building officially opens today with a ceremony. Spokesman David Berzek tells KMOX the proliferation of data in the modern world calls for more analysis and collaboration.
It's going to require tools and tradecraft, new technologies, new techniques, as well as the skilled workforce to apply them. And that's really what guided us in how we designed and built this facility.
Berzek says the new workspaces will enable better collaboration with researchers, schools, and industry.
With the opening of the new NGA building, what happens to the old one by the brewery? The federal agency will be moving into the new digs in phases. If the property isn't acquired by another federal agency, the General Services Administration will deem it as surplus. That means it could become available to local government or nonprofits. Otherwise, it'll be put up for sale, typically by auction.
There's a new leadership atop St. Louis's largest economic development organization.
Greater St. Louis Inc. has named Ron Kitchens as their new CEO.
The economic development firm brings in Kitchens from Wichita Falls, Texas, where he was able to land the 3 largest private sector investments in the city's history while leading their Chamber of Commerce. In a statement, Kitchens says St. Louis is near and dear to his heart, and he is excited to play a role in building a prosperous future. Kitchens is from Ozark and a graduate of Missouri State University. His wife, Lynn, is a St. Louis native. Kitchens will begin his role as CEO in November. The search for the replacement of outgoing CEO Jason Hall began in December of last year. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
MoDOT celebrating the end of its lengthy Lindbergh Improvement Project. A ribbon cutting this morning marks the completion of work on the corridor between Page and Swan, which included a 2-month shutdown for a bridge replacement.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It is 7:34. We're going to take a look at traffic and weather together next. Stay with us on Total Information AM.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
7:35, time for your money report. It's sponsored by Busey Bank.
Good morning. Factory workers in China reportedly suffered difficult conditions while racing to get Apple's new iPhone 17 lineup ready. A report from the nonprofit China Labor Watch said staff at the Foxconn facility faced wage withholding, excessive overtime, and forced night shifts. Apple responded to the report saying it's committed to the highest standards. It also said in this case, its teams were on site and began an immediate investigation. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook's attorneys have urged the U.S. Supreme Court to let her stay on her job as she fights President Trump's attempt to fire her. Her lawyers yesterday warned that even her temporary removal risks chaos and disruption in financial markets. OpenAI is rolling out a new ChatGPT feature that sends users a set of personalized news, research, and other updates each day based on their previous conversations with the chatbot. ChatGPT Pulse users will receive 5 to 10 visual cards each day, and each will provide more details on a topic of interest and possibly an excuse to begin a conversation with the chatbot about it. With your Bloomberg Money Report, I'm Kimberly Adams on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Feel like your paycheck barely keeps up with your life? At the seminar, learn how real people are building passive income and retiring early using real estate. It's all happening live in St. Louis with Lifestyles Unlimited, September 27th and 28th. You'll leave with a step-by-step plan to change your future. Text radio to 88007. That's live in St. Louis, September 27th and 28th. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. That's right, weight loss seminar at the Marriott St. Louis West in St. Louis at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Always spells the same. Zero Res.
Sunday, the Chiefs, the Ravens. Siteman Cancer Center game time, 3:25.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
Hear all the action from Arrowhead on 97.1 FM Talk.
It is 7:39, and we are going to check traffic and weather here for you in just a moment. Well, let's just check it. Well, let's talk about property taxes. After months of public hearings across the state, the Missouri House Committee on Property Tax Reform met at the Capitol for a roundtable discussion. Committee Chair Representative Tim Taylor, a Republican representing Howard, Cooper, and Sheridan counties, said there's been talk of replacing personal property tax with a higher sales tax, but he believes that'd be a difficult shift.
Getting rid of some convoluted thing to replace it with another convoluted thing, it's going to be so hard to do because of the differences between counties who have a large income base from businesses and that type of thing, as opposed to those counties that don't have that.
Bolivar Republican Christopher Warwick, however, believes the idea deserves more consideration.
We just gave fire districts the ability to use sales tax to be able to take care of their needs. Bolivar chose back in the 90s to put it before the voters to say, we would like to change property tax to a sales tax. The voters agreed with that, and the city has not had property tax for over 30 plus years.
Lawmakers must now decide what legislation to propose, if any, that would ease the property tax burden for Missouri residents while still ensuring critical funding for schools, fire departments, and other essential local services.
It's 7:40 and time to head back to the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. Frank Ladd, how are things looking?
Oh, Megan, I'm watching a crash now. They're working on it. Southbound Highway 270 at Olive. It's right underneath the Olive overpass, blocking the 2 left lanes southbound on Highway 270, right in that shadow there. So it's hard to see on the camera. So we're seeing delays from the Page area headed down towards Olive on southbound 270. South of there, not bad through the construction zone at Ladue. Northbound Highway 270, you got a pocket of volume now right at Tesson Ferry, then it's sluggish through Gravois up through about 44. Similar story, it's busy into the work zone northbound on Highway 55. Those delays started about Weber Road. They cleared the incident off the Poplar Street Bridge, eastbound Highway 64, so that's the good news in the Metro East. Eastbound Highway 64, you've got your normal pocket of volume through the Central County area. Those delays started about McKnight and extend up to about Big Bend. This update is sponsored by Anderson Hospital. Our next traffic update is at 7:50. I'm Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Serving the Metro East region with excellence, Anderson Hospital is proud to be named one of Newsweek's World's Best Hospitals for 2025. Experience world-class care close to home. AndersonHospital.org.
Let's take a look at the forecast as we head into a weekend, and our AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zare joins us. It looks like a summery, not a fall forecast.
Yeah, definitely hard to tell that this is a forecast for the last weekend in September. What with how much warmth we have in this forecast. Yesterday was in the upper 70s. That was already on the warm side, but we're going to be even farther above average today. Sunny skies and a high of 82. And then with clear skies, we'll drop down to 58 tonight. We're warm with plenty of sun tomorrow. We'll have a high of 84. And then even warmer for both Sunday and Monday. We'll top out at 86 degrees on both days with plenty of sunshine. We'll have some high clouds mixing with the sun on Tuesday, but it stays very warm. We're still topping out in the middle 80s. Right now it's 55 in St. Peters, 57 in Florissant, and 60 downtown at the Arch. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Joe Pod. Cardinals finish off the season this weekend. They're at Wrigley Field for a 3-game set. I'll tell you more coming up in sports.
More news now. There's a problem in the construction industry. A generation of workers are retiring, and there aren't enough youngsters coming up to adequately replace them. That's why St. Louis and Paul Robinson founded the organization Construct Reach, which aims to get students interested in the trades as a career.
We try to make sure that they are moving into graduation in an informed perspective and position so that they can understand what comes with these different career pathways and then how they could put themselves in position.
He's coming back to his home city Monday to hold an I Built This event with high schoolers at Murphy Mechanical. They'll get to try electrical wiring, flooring installation, and more hands-on. You can hear more at 8:24 this morning here on KMOX.
26 people are being indicted in federal court accused of being part of the Sinaloa cartel drug pipeline from Mexico to the St. Louis region. The feds say one of them, 56-year-old Earl Frank of O'Fallon, Illinois, is charged with conspiracy to distribute meth, fentanyl, and cocaine, as well as 2 counts of money laundering. Throughout the investigation, federal authorities say they seized 800 pounds of fentanyl, 150 pounds of methamphetamine, and 100 pounds of cocaine.
Parents at an Indiana high school are up in arms after their teens came home with blisters and burns on their hands. Apparently, their dance coach made them do bear crawls along a very hot track during practice. A 14-year-old girl even had to be hospitalized with second-degree burns. One of the participants says she complained about the exercise, but was rebuffed by the coach. The school says they're investigating.
It felt like it was burning. I complained a few times, but she kept telling us to keep going and stuff because our body just wasn't used to it. So this is normal. So I thought it was normal.
Federal prison workers are being stripped of their union protections.
The Federal Bureau of Prisons is scrapping a union contract with its workers and is stripping them of their union rights. Agency Director William K. Marshall III told the 35,000 employees under the contract that the union has become a, quote, obstacle to progress instead of a partner in it, end quote. And he says the whole purpose of ending this contract is to make your lives better. Union President Brandy Moore White says ending the collective bargaining agreement will jeopardize the safety and livelihoods of workers who endure dangerous working conditions to keep inmates, staff, and communities safe. And she says we will absolutely fight this tooth and nail. For years, the Bureau of Prisons has been plagued by severe understaffing that's led to overtime shifts and the use of prison nurses, teachers, and even cooks to guard inmates. I'm Donna Warder.
The Cards are in Chicago this weekend to face the Cubs in the final series of the season. It starts this afternoon. The Cards would need a sweep of the Cubs to avoid a second losing record in the last 3 seasons. They would also need the Reds to get swept at Milwaukee, and therefore they'd finish in a tie for third place in the National League Central. Miles Michaelis works for the Redbirds in what is likely his final start in a St. Louis uniform. First pitch today is 1:20. Pregame coverage here on KMOX gets started at 12:25. It's homecoming at Missouri and Illinois. Number 20 Mizzou is 3-0 after a win over South Carolina last week. They'll face UMass tomorrow night in Columbia. UMass is 0-3 and coming off a 47-7 loss at Iowa a week ago. That game is a 6:30 kickoff tomorrow night on ESPNU. Number 23 Illinois is looking to rebound after a 63-10 loss last week at Indiana. The Illini have number 21 USC in Champaign tomorrow morning. USC is 4-0. They beat Michigan State in California last week, 45-31. Kickoff is 11 a.m. tomorrow on Fox. St. Louis City has just 3 games remaining on its 2025 MLS schedule, including 2 at home at Energizer Park. City faces LAFC tomorrow night after winning back-to-back games at Montreal and San Jose. Interim head coach David Critchley said yesterday the team is seeing its hard work pay off.
I believe the harder you work, the luckier you get. I know that's always a quote that I try to live my life by. These guys work hard every single week. They've worked hard now they work hard every week since I've stepped into this job. But what we're starting to see now is all of that, whether it's a trend, a habit, a behavior, all of those words are used. You're starting to see them be really now utilized in the games as well. So they put themselves in a position where they fully deserve the results that they've been getting lately, these guys, because they've been working extremely hard every week now for many, many weeks.
That audio courtesy of St. Louis City. Kickoff tomorrow is set for 7:30. Pregame is 7:15 on our sister station, Y98. The Blues are home tomorrow. They'll face the Blackhawks in a preseason game at Enterprise Center. Puck drops at 6 o'clock. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. And right now, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is offering their lowest ticket price in years, starting at $55, including fees, only for a limited time. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
7:50. Let's check in on your drive into work with Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Megan, I'm looking at a crash now at southbound Highway 55 at Carondelet. The two right lanes are blocked there, not really causing too many delays as most drivers are headed northbound on Highway 55 at this time of day. Their delays start at Weber Road, headed up towards the road construction on northbound 55. So you've got your normal pocket of volume there. Still dealing with this accident. It's southbound on Highway 270 at Olive. Still the two left lanes blocked right underneath the Olive overpass. Still seeing delays back north at Page now near Dorset, stop and go on southbound 270. Southbound 170, a little heavy as well. Make your way towards Highway 64. That left lane backs up starting at about the Forest Park Parkway. Eastbound Highway 64, you've got pockets of volume now from Clayton Warson headed towards Big Bend. Northbound on Highway 270, not bad this morning now between 5544 and Highway 64. Our next traffic update at 7:58. Frank Ladd in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The weather is going to be kind of summery in the 80s. Today, plenty of sunshine with a high of 82. Then tomorrow, 84. Sunday and Monday, 86 both days. Currently, it's 57 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
More news now at 7:51. The proposal to build a light rail connecting North and South City could be abandoned. The proposed Green Line Metrolink expansion was to be funded through a tax increase voters already approved. NAACP President Adolphus Pruitt tells KMOX he believes voters would rather see the city sit on the funds and let it grow while waiting for a new government more inclined to provide the federal funding the expansion requires.
You're going to take away any leverage we may have in the future to make it happen, simply because you don't want to wait a few years to see if the administration changes and see what other opportunities come along to make it happen.
Later this morning, Bi-State Development will vote on a proposal to instead focus on a rapid bus service to replace the proposed light rail.
5 people have died and after contracting a rare flesh-eating bacteria in Louisiana. KMOX health editor Fred Bottomer reports it's something that has doctors highly concerned.
Infection rates from this drug-resistant bacteria rose almost 70% between 2019 and 2023 in the United States. This bacteria has been seen in locations all along the Gulf Coast. Fox News senior medical analyst Dr. Mark Siegel.
I mean, it's had a 5 times increase in the last several years, 70% in the last 3 years. It's a carbapenem-resistant bacteria. Bacteria have genes just like we do, and they're trying to get the combination to the vault so that the antibiotic you give them doesn't work. And drug resistance has become an increasing problem in the world, especially among bacteria, because we don't have enough antibiotics.
Dr. Siegel says they're seeing lingering urinary symptoms and lung infections from this bacteria that are hard to treat. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Social Security Administration will stop sending out paper checks starting next week. Here's correspondent Jesse Mitchell.
Social Security checks are going paperless. Starting next week on September 30th, the administration says it will distribute funds to its nearly 70 million retiree recipients by direct deposit or debit card.
The White House says it will fire federal government employees rather than furlough them if there's a government shutdown next week. Congress has just 6 more days before the clock runs out on them to pass a budget. President Trump has said he wants something on his desk to sign, but lawmakers on Capitol Hill appear to have hit a roadblock as Republicans and Democrats don't agree on how to move forward. We get more from CBS's congressional correspondent Nicole Killian.
Republicans and Democrats don't agree on approach. Republicans are pushing for a short-term continuing resolution to keep the government funded through mid-November, but Democrats see that as a partisan bill, and they believe that the president's agenda has really hurt a lot of Americans with regard to the issue of health care. So they want that addressed in some capacity to at least win their votes, which is critical in the Senate.
Umberto is the latest Atlantic hurricane. Here's meteorologist Craig Allen.
Umberto is now a hurricane. 75-mile-per-hour winds recorded at the latest observation. The movement is very slow towards the west-northwest at about 3 miles per hour, but fortunately away from any direct land impacts at the present time.
New research shows that the addition of rear-facing cameras in cars and trucks has prevented a lot of kids from being injured or killed by cars backing up.
Before the cameras were required, the emergency room at UT Health Houston saw about 7 backover trauma cases a year. That's been reduced to 3. Study author Dr. Jeanette Jolly says this fits in with research done by the group Kids and Car Safety.
It's impressive and important to see the same reduction in the rate of backover traumas in both data sets.
Safety advocates are calling for backup cameras to also be installed on older vehicles. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
It's 7:55.
Tom Ackerman here, always proud to talk about Genesis of St. Charles, and especially when they're trying to sell cars with the all-out sellout and out to break all sales records in the month of September. You can buy online and let them deliver to you. People are flocking to Genesis of St. Charles at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway. You'll love the state-of-the-art facility and the luxurious service that Genesis of St. Charles provides. Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership, not to mention Genesis of St. Charles is the #1 Genesis dealer in the state of Missouri for 2025. They call it the all-out sellout. They are out to break all sales records in September. They're Genesis of St. Charles. And remember, every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet, complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery. Genesis of St. Charles.com.
Scammers, stalkers, criminals. They're looking for your personal information and finding it easier than you think. With Incogni, you can reduce your personal information exposure on the web. Your name, address, and phone number are shared on hundreds of public websites right now. Your family details, even where you live. It's all online, collected and sold by data brokers without your consent, putting you at serious risk. Someone could show up at your door, use your information to steal your identity, send scam messages to your parents, or drain your accounts in minutes. Incogni removes your personal data from hundreds of websites that expose your details, making it much harder for the wrong people to reach you. Because if they can't find you, they can't harm you. Get 1 year of Incogni Unlimited for 55% off today at Incogni.com and let Incogni remove your personal data from the web for you. That's INCOGNI.com. Take back control of your privacy and reclaim your peace of mind.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
It is 7:58 and time to check in with Frank Ladd and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, a couple crashes on Highway 270 so far this morning. Headed southbound on Highway 270 at Olive. The two left lanes are blocked underneath the Olive overpass there. That has you backed up to about Dorset now on southbound Highway 270. Northbound Highway 270 drivers are slowing as well, approaching Highway 70. In the exit lanes towards Highway 70, we've got a crash. It's all over on the right shoulder, but it is nosing out into that far right exit lane. So you've got some delays approaching Highway 70 now. Southbound on Highway 55, they had that accident at Carondelet. Last check, there were two right lanes blocked there. So you have your normal volume into the work zone headed northbound on 55. Those delays started about Weber Road. 270 northbound this morning, not bad. Between 55-44 all the way up through to Highway 64. You've got your normal off-the-pace stretch eastbound on Highway 64 from Clayton-Warson, make your way up to Big Bend. Westbound 64, just a pocket of volume passing Hampton. Our next traffic update at 8:10. Frank Ladd and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We have sunshine, 56 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. These are the stories making news.
The proposed North City to South City light rail could soon become a bus line instead.
I think they can do that without the use of our phone.
I'm Sean Malone. Hear reaction from the NAACP coming up.
I'm Debbie Monterey. Later on Total Information AM, we'll speak with Dr. Daniel Rhodes about the nightmare bacteria. That's at 8:11.
Michael Calhoun goes in depth with Construct Reach. I built this program at 8:24.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer. It's going to be sunny today. We'll have a warm afternoon, high 82.
It's time for CBS News at the Tone. It's 8 o'clock.
Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Breaking News. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is about to open today's session of the UN General Assembly in New York.
The prime minister is expected to speak out against countries who have recognized a Palestinian state in his address to the UN and also in his meetings with leaders on the sidelines.
He comes following a President Trump who has basically laid the predicate.
But the main event won't be in New York, but at the White House, says former State Department Middle East negotiator Aaron David Miller.
It'll come on Monday when he sits with the president.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
At President Trump's urging, a federal grand jury has indicted a longtime foe, former FBI Director James Comey. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
In an untraditional move, the new acting U.S. Attorney, Lindsay Halligan, was the only one to sign the charging documents. No other assistant U.S. attorney did so. And last night, one longtime assistant U.S. attorney in Virginia resigned, citing this new case against James Comey.
Charges obstruction and making a false statement to Congress. When Comey testified in 2020 in a social media post, he maintains his innocence and says, let's have a trial. You could wind up paying more for furniture and medicine after the president slapped a new round of taxes on imports. As for meds, CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
Over $230 billion of imported drugs came into the U.S. last year. Now, what I do want to caveat is this announcement says that any drug company that has broken ground or is in construction on new manufacturing facilities in the U.S., they are exempt from that tariff.
This week, Eli Lilly, maker of popular weight loss drugs, announced plans to build a plant in Houston. Core inflation is holding steady. The Commerce Department Department says consumer spending was up just 0.3% in August, putting the annual rate at 2.7. That's about what analysts expected. Today's report also indicates the president's tariffs have had only a limited impact on consumer prices. Receive a government check every month? Don't look for an envelope in the mail.
Social Security checks are going paperless. Starting next week on September 30th, the administration says it will distribute funds to its nearly 70 million retiree recipients by direct deposit or debit card.
CBS's Jesse Mitchell. There's a new hurricane swirling in the Atlantic Ocean near the Virgin Islands. Meteorologist Craig Allen is keeping a close eye on it.
No direct landfall is expected from Umberto as it tracks to the north-northeast, and this is a very good thing because Umberto is likely to continue to intensify rapidly and become a major hurricane.
Dow futures are up 208, Nas futures ahead 83. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
At 8:03, we have sunshine, 57 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, September 26th. The news sponsored by St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. I'm Megan Lynch. Amid concerns of a federal funding cancellation, bi-state development leaders are prepared to vote on pivoting the Green Line light rail expansion to buses instead.
Adolphus Pruitt, president of the St. Louis City NAACP, is upset to see the city and bi-state development abandon the proposed light rail connecting North and South City. He tells KMOX a rapid bus service shouldn't require the taxes approved for the Metrolink expansion.
Improving ridership efficiency along the route where Metrolink was going to go via standard buses and stuff. I think they can do that without the use of our funds.
Mayor Kara Spencer campaigned on pausing the project and reassessing its chances of receiving federal grants. She says in a statement to KMOX, the price tag over $1 billion for less than 6 miles and 10 stations puts the project out of reach. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Anger over a proposed data center in St. Charles has led to an effort to recall the city's mayor, Dan Borgmeyer. A group of citizens has filed the paperwork with the city clerk's office. The petition cites examples of malfeasance. Borgmeyer told our partners at Fox 2.
There's a lot of misconceptions in it. There's a lot of misinformation in it. And some of it is just downright not true.
Olivia Cross told the Post-Dispatch the data center is just one of many issues they're concerned about. The group will need to collect more than 11,000 signatures of registered voters by January to force a special election. Sections of a vacant two-story building collapsed in North St. Louis overnight. The city fire department reports it happened in the 3000 block of North Taylor. Crews arrived to find heavy smoke in the basement and flames threatening some nearby buildings, but there were no injuries. The new NGA West officially opens with a big ceremony in North St. Louis later this morning. Spokesman David Burzek tells KMOX the proliferation of data in the modern world calls for more collaboration.
It's going to require tools and tradecraft, new technologies, new techniques, as well as the skilled workforce to apply them. And that's really what guided us in how we designed and built this facility.
Burzek says the new workspaces will enable better collaboration with researchers, schools, and industry. The NGA's role is to provide geospatial intelligence to aid the military, national security, and first responders. After searching for nearly a year, Greater St. Louis Inc. has picked a new CEO. The city's economic development group named Ron Kitchens as the new first in charge. He comes from Wichita Falls, Texas, where he ran their Chamber of Commerce for 3 years, bringing the 3 largest private investments in the city's history. Kitchens is originally from Ozark, Missouri, while his wife Lynn is a St. Louis native. He starts the job in November. More major projects underway at Tower Grove Park. Mayor Spencer, David Kemper of the William T. Kemper Foundation, and Park Executive Director Bill Reininger were among participants in Thursday's groundbreaking of a new event support building.
It will serve as a trailhead for the highly anticipated Tower Grove Connector, linking our beloved and diverse St. Louis neighborhoods. It will offer concessions, rest area, accessible restrooms, flexible space for gathering and events, a true gateway to community life.
A new Victorian garden will add event space for weddings at the Piper Palm House, and 4 of the Victorian pavilions are being restored, thanks in part to a $500,000 grant from the National Park Service. Big changes on the way for Manchester Road in Brentwood.
A judge gives the city the green light to move ahead with its $700 million redevelopment plan after a legal challenge from residents was dismissed. Those neighbors argued that their homes were not blighted, and they worried about the potential use of eminent domain to take their property. But the court upheld the city's finding that the 48-acre area is blighted. In a statement, Brentwood officials say the redevelopment is vital for the city's long-term growth and add, quote, "We are encouraged that the court recognize the city's compliance with proper procedures as we continue work on this important redevelopment project." Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Midwest Bank Center continues donating property and former bank branches to nonprofit groups, this time a 22,000 square foot building on South Grand. Christian Friends of New Americans recently moved in. According to the Business Journal, the nonprofit offers services to immigrants and refugees. The bank branch closed earlier this year. Midwest Bank Center Chairman and CEO Orvin Kimbrough says instead of just selling the properties, they believe in creating opportunities that help neighborhoods thrive. Another former branch on Merrimack and Dutchtown is now a micro business incubator. It's 8:08. We'll check traffic and weather in 2 minutes.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
Hi, Debbie Monterey here with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. We've worked together for more than 5 years, and I've learned a lot about you and your business. Today, I actually found out a few things I didn't know, like your home sales stats. Compared to the average agent who sells less than 4 to 6 homes a year, you actually sell a home just about every other day. And even more impressive, your business has been built on giving back to our local community, including supporting St. Louis Children's Hospital.
Thank you. Every business should have a Go Serve Big initiative. When someone makes a referral, they're helping our communities, including St. Louis Children's Hospital, which is very special to me and my family because they helped me when I had my son many years ago. Today, sellers want to sell with certainty in this uncertain market. My upfront written guarantees are my secret to selling your home fast and for top dollar.
Friends, the secret is out. Call Gloria now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
8:10. Let's see what trouble spots are out there on the roads this morning. Frank Ladd has the latest from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we've added to the emergency vehicles on the scene of this crash at southbound Highway 270 at Olive. Underneath the Olive overpass, the 2 left lanes are now blocked with a large fire truck. So you've got delays now from about Dorset southbound on Highway 270 all the way down to Olive. We are moving, though. It's not completely stopped. The 2 right lanes are getting by. We have a new crash, though, eastbound on Highway 64 at Prospect. At last check, the right lane was closed, as is the right shoulder. Remember, that's in the middle of that construction zone, so you've got a wall barrier right up against that left lane there, so it's a tight squeeze. That has you backed up to about Wentzville now on eastbound Highway 64. East of there, a great run through the valley, coming up the hill, headed towards Highway 270. No delays there. Northbound Highway 270 has completely thinned out. 55 through Highway 64. A similar story headed into that road construction zone northbound on Highway 55, thinning out as well at Weber Road. Southbound Highway 270 drivers are still going to see the remains of an accident over on the right shoulder at Carondelet. Our next traffic update at 8:20, Frank Ladd and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather. Plenty of sunshine today. We'll have a warm afternoon with a high of 82. Clear skies and a low of 58 tonight. Another warm day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and a high of 84. And then very warm for Sunday. Still plenty of sun with a high of 86. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We do have sunny skies this morning, 59 degrees in Florissant, 56 in St. Peters, and 57 downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. Infection rates from drug-resistant nightmare bacteria rose almost 70% between 2019 and 2023. That's according to a new report from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention scientists. Dr. Daniel Rhodes, chair of the College of American Pathologists Council on Scientific Affairs, joins me now on the line to offer us some perspective. Dr. Rhodes, thanks so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So when we look at this CDC report, do you agree with what you're seeing in there?
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely an increase in antimicrobial resistance, and they're calling out this emerging NDM resistance, which is definitely all around, and according to the report, getting more prevalent, which I definitely believe.
Anecdotally, what have you heard?
Yeah, so we see these same bacteria in our patients in our laboratory. Everywhere is a little bit different, though. We're not seeing the increase that they're reporting that they're picking up nationally, but I wonder if this is driven by kind of local pockets, because oftentimes these infections or these groups of bacteria that emerge are somewhat local when they first emerge.
Describe for us what's happening here, that these bacteria, they're calling them nightmare bacteria, are so drug resistant.
Yeah, so we kind of made that happen. The humans did that. So 100 years ago, these were all susceptible, right, to all the antibiotics. But as we use more and more antibiotics, we select for the bacteria that can tolerate those antibiotics or that are resistant. So that's what happened. That's what happens. The more we use antibiotics, the more resistance we expect to see.
One of the things I've heard is that as patients, we're partly to blame. For example, when we don't finish a full course of antibiotics. Is that true?
Yeah. So that thinking is evolving. I was taught the same thing. When I was younger, you got to finish all your antibiotics for your strep throat, and people are reevaluating, how long a course of antibiotics is necessary for some of these infections. One thing that I would say patients and prescribers need to work together on is making sure that they only take antibiotics when appropriate, right? You shouldn't take antibiotics if you have a cold or a flu in an outpatient setting, typically, because those viruses, don't respond to antibiotics. We should really just save them for when we really need them.
Yes, I remember when my kids were little, sometimes being a little surprised when a doctor would say, let's let this run its course. Like the body is actually designed to try to fight some of this off.
Yeah. And a lot of those infections in childhood are viruses, and it just takes time for that immune system to clear the viruses.
One other question I have. So if taking antibiotics is thought to have kind of created these resistant strains, and now we're treating some of these really resistant bacteria with superpower antibiotics, are we going to make things worse long term?
Yeah, that's a good question. People often use the analogy of an arms race, right? Where we humans create a new antibiotic or a new super weapon, and then the bacteria figure out how to get around it. And so it's, a little bit of back and forth. So I expect that resistance will continue to emerge as we put these selective pressures of antibiotics on the bacteria. But there are new antibiotics that are coming out. There's one that came out just this year that's specifically designed to inhibit this NDM carrying bacteria.
You mentioned pockets. Can you explain a little bit about how people can be carriers or spread these resistant bacteria?
Sure. Yeah, so the bacteria that typically have this NDM resistance mechanism typically live in our guts, and typically they don't cause infection. We just carry them. The problem is when they get in the wrong place, right? So if there's a surgery and they get inside the body and the surgical site, or if there's urinary tract infection. So any one of us might be carrying these, and it doesn't cause any problems. The problem is when it gets in the wrong spot and starts to cause an infection.
Are we doing a good enough job in this country tracking all of these cases and analyzing them?
Yeah, there's at least kind of two ways to think about this. One is from a public health perspective, which is what the CDC does, and they track and report like the report that came out. And then the other side, which is what I work on day to day, is taking care of the patient. And I think from a patient standpoint, there are opportunities to do better, to identify when that infection is carrying that NDM quickly. And we have tools, and we're working on that. But if we can identify it quickly, we can get the patient on the right antibiotic quickly.
Dr. Rhodes, what do you want the public to know about this? They've heard this story. It's a little frightening. So what would you tell our listeners?
Yeah, this is concerning to all of us, but although this is new, it's really a theme that has been going on for decades, is that we use more antibiotics and we select for more resistance. And the only way, to get past this is to only use antibiotics when we absolutely need to, and also continue to develop new antibiotics. So science is important, so that we can get through this together.
In the near term, do you think we're going to continue to see higher infection rates from these drug-resistant bacteria?
Yeah, I do believe that we will. That's been the theme over for decades, and I think it's going to continue. It's going to continue to be a challenge. The WHO, the CDC, for years have warned that this is a concern and a growing concern. So I think we do need to be aware and give it attention.
Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
That is Dr. Daniel Rhodes, chair of the College of American Pathologists Council on Scientific Affairs, joining us this morning here on KMOX. Still ahead on the show, Michael Calhoun talks with Paul Robinson. He's the founder and CEO of a company an organization called Construct Reach. And they are coming into St. Louis to give young people a chance to do some hands-on construction to see if they like it as a career. Michael will have more on that coming up at 8:24. And then at the bottom of the hour, you'll hear from CBS News' Jim Axelrod. There is continuing tension over animal experiments. He will have the latest. It's 8:19. Let's get the latest on the roads, because you just heard Frank Ladd about 10 minutes ago talk about how there's a problem at southbound 270 at Olive. He joins us now from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center. Frank, what's the latest on that?
Megan, nothing's changed there. Headed southbound on Olive, you're going to find the southbound 270 at Olive, you're going to find the two left lanes blocked with a large fire truck there right underneath the Olive overpass. So you're backed up to about Dorset now, southbound on Highway 270. Stop and go in that stretch, headed towards Olive. We've got a new crash reported now. It's eastbound Highway 70 at Highway 270. No reports of any lane blockage, but I am seeing delays back towards 141. Still seeing delays, and it's a tight squeeze headed eastbound on Highway 64 at Prospect. An accident blocking the right lane and right shoulder there, only that left lane squeezing by up against the median wall. So you're backed up to Wentzville eastbound on Highway 64. Southbound 61 is also backed up approaching Highway 70 due to the crash on eastbound Highway 64. We thinned out completely northbound on Highway 270 between 5544 and Highway 64. Similar story into downtown St. Louis, delay free westbound crossing the Poplar on 5564. Our next traffic update at 8:30. Frank Ladd and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
It's going to be a sunny day today and warm, a high of 82 degrees. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 58. And then tomorrow, another warm, sunny day, a high of 84. We have sunshine, 57 degrees now downtown at the Arch.
Hi, it's Margaret from Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. I've worked with Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano for more than 30 years. Their guidance and assistance with my estate planning and legal documents gives me the peace of mind that I have the retirement I've worked for and always dreamed of. And I'm playing it fully with my grandchildren, volunteering, and traveling worldwide. I play confidently knowing my estate is secured in any event. You can get your estate secured with Eamon Gantner and Capriano too. Visit their website, yourestatemasters.com, and download their free webinar on how to get started. Then make a free appointment. Your estate matters because you matter. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, yourestatemasters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be made solely on advertising.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
High school students on Monday will be laying floor tiles and running electrical wire. It's to see if it's something they'd be interested in doing as a career. KMOX's Michael Calhoun spoke with St. Louis and Paul Robinson, the founder and CEO of Construct Reach.
What is Construct Reach and what is I Built This?
Yeah, so Construct Reach is a workforce development consultancy that really seeks to address the need to backfill the construction industry as we have an entire generation that's aging out, and we're not backfilling those positions at the same rate. So we work nationally to help the industry put itself in a position to better attract, develop, and retain a younger demographic.
So what's coming up at one of the construction companies, one of their warehouses here in the St. Louis metro area, coming up on Monday the 30th?
Yes, for sure. So we've got our signature and our flagship I Built This event. This is the third time that we will be doing it here, which is home for us in St. Louis, and we are going to be partnering with Murphy Mechanical. Once again, they've been a partner with us since we've been doing the I Built This event here in St. Louis and also in other cities. And so we get a chance to be at their facility this time, which is cool.
And when you talk to kids or you take a look at what's happening in schools, how much of an interest is there in construction and what needs to be done and at what ages to really spark that interest?
Yeah, I would say it's super important to get in front of kids during an early age, during those formative years, as they're learning about different careers. And so you're starting to see the emergence of a lot of career and technical education coming back into schools, and then industry partnerships with education, which is what Construct Reach seeks to do. Through our I Built This program, we get a chance to correlate with the industry and allow kids to participate in work-based learning events, specifically for those high school ages. We target usually the juniors and seniors, and they're able to participate in simulated kind of activity stations that correlates to either a construction or design of a project that is going on. And they're learning about different career pathways that they may not be aware of. And with that, we're piquing their interest, providing them resources, mentorship, if you will, connections about next steps, and to put themselves in position to move into the careers that we're piquing their interest towards. We've been doing the I Built This events actually since 2019. And so, we're super excited, of course, to be coming back here to our home city, St. Louis. And we've seen just the growth over time. We typically have around 80% of students that are interested in careers after we are exposing them to the various career opportunities that exist and the different pathways that exist within construction. So getting in front of them during those years before they have to make a decision, right? As high school graduation is getting near, we try to make sure that they are moving into graduation in an informed perspective and position so that they can understand what comes with these different career pathways and then how they could put themselves in position.
That is Paul Robinson, founder and CEO of Construct Reach, speaking with KMOX's Michael Calhoun.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at my favorite sports fantasy app, Underdog. So baseball's still going on. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri. Playing on Underdog is super easy. Just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the Underdog app today and sign up with promo code Glover to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Glover. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog, and you could be next. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
8:30, let's check on that issue on southbound 270 at Olive. Frank Ladd has more from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we're still dealing with it headed southbound on Highway 270 at Olive. Those 2 left lanes remain blocked. You're still seeing delays all the way back to Dorset now southbound on Highway 270. Eastbound on Highway 70 in that similar area up in North County at Highway 270, an accident is blocking the left lane. Still dealing with this crash eastbound Highway 64 at Prospect. A right lane remains blocked there. Just that single left lane is getting by. And a new incident just called out I-255 southbound. The exit ramp to Highway 64 is partially blocked. We're sponsored by Mosby Building Arts. Our next traffic update at 8:40. Frank Ladd and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sunny and warm today, a high of 82. Right now we have sunshine, 57 degrees in downtown St. Louis. The pros and cons of using animals in scientific research. CBS's Jim Axelrod says passions run high on both sides of the issue.
When dozens of monkeys made a break for it from this research facility in South Carolina last November.
Workers are laying traps to catch dozens of monkeys that escaped from a research facility last night.
Most people following the story didn't know what the monkeys were running from. But as animals used in government-funded medical testing, they were actually fleeing for their lives.
We're excited to work with you, DOJ, the administration, and others to continue cutting wasteful spending on animal experiments.
But this brewing political fight about the future of animal testing and millions of dollars of funding for animal experiments being cut.
Today, we announced a dramatic reduction in animal testing at NIH and FDA.
May shape the quality of human lives as well. In San Rafael, California, Justin and Rosalind Porcano's 7-year-old daughter, Leah, has a rare genetic disorder, Usher syndrome type 1B. She was born deaf, and without new treatments, she faces even more challenges ahead.
If we don't find a treatment, Leah will most likely be legally blind before high school.
So she'll be blind and deaf.
Yes.
And this will happen in the next 7-8 years.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When Leah was diagnosed, her parents looked everywhere for a way to help her. They found a scientist at the Oregon National Primate Research Center who provided hope through testing with monkeys.
I think about I'd rather not be testing in a non-human primate, but what are the options?
What's the alternative?
Yeah, you can't just stop testing in all animal models right now. It's a crazy concept.
The Porcanos feel primate testing is the best bet for now, but they're also placing hope in new technologies being developed in labs like this one at Johns Hopkins University.
If the future provided a way to do all the testing in a lab and no animals suffered, would you be in favor?
Absolutely.
Of course.
But as of now,
we're not there.
We're not there yet. And we don't have the luxury of time.
This is kind of my dream. Here in Jack Thornton's lab, they're working on something that sounds like science fiction. Organoids.
It's an emerging technology.
it's the early days.
Yeah, we're still getting there.
Grown from human tissue, organoids are cells from specific organs that could one day make animal testing obsolete, but not yet, says Paul Locke, who oversees the lab.
I want to see us get out of the business of using animals in research. The question is when. The answer is not tomorrow.
But this little girl may not have time to wait for one day. I'm Jim Axelrod in San Rafael, California.
Take your front door from flat to phenomenal. Launch your curb appeal into another dimension during Mosby's Out of This World door sale. A new front door can be yours from just $69 a month. Hurry, sale ends Halloween. Details at callmosby.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
8:35, time for your money report, sponsored by Eamon Gatner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys. Here's Bloomberg's Kimberly Adams.
Good morning. President Trump has announced a 100% duty on patented drugs unless the producer is building a manufacturing plant in the U.S. In addition, the president is announcing other tariffs also set to begin this coming Wednesday. Imported heavy trucks will be subject to a 25% duty. Kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities will be hit with a 50% charge, and upholstered furniture imports are to be taxed at 30%. American Airlines has lost its bid to block the city of Chicago from awarding United Airlines valuable gate space at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. A Cook County Circuit Court made the decision yesterday, and it comes nearly 5 months after American filed suit to stop its rival's expansion. O'Hare is a hub for both airlines, and even though the economy grew at a strong rate of 3.8% in the spring second quarter, stocks ended the day lower, extending declines for a third straight day. The Dow was down 174 points, the Nasdaq lost 113, and the S&P was lower by 33. With your Bloomberg Money Report, I'm Kimberly Adams on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
This is Todd Krentz with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we have helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Selling your business is a major milestone. Before and after the sale, our role is to help cut through complexity and create a clear financial strategy focused on your legacy. We often coordinate with your attorney and CPA to ensure everything is aligned so your plan not only fits today, but continues working for you in the future. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker dealer. Get ready, because here they come.
1, 2, 3, 4!
It's Beatlemania all over again with the Fab Four, the ultimate tribute to the Beatles. Entertainment Tonight says seeing the Fab Four is just like seeing the Beatles.
Hey Jude.
The Fab Four takes you through the 60s with the music that changed our lives.
Yesterday.
It's a show you won't want to miss.
Saturday, October 4th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
And the Lovin' Spoonful.
Do you believe in magic?
Saturday, October 25th at the Family Arena with the Hollies' greatest hits, starring Jerry Sylvester. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon and the Lovin' Spoonful.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
Sunny skies, 57 degrees at 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. Microsoft says it's disabled services to a unit within the Israeli military after a company review had determined its artificial intelligence and cloud computing products were being used to help carry out mass surveillance of Palestinians. It pays less and less to buy and flip a home these days. The typical home flipping profit margin fell in the second quarter to its lowest level since 2008. With a typical return of 25% before expenses. We have Hancock and Kelly coming up on KMOX. First, though, we need to get you updated on the road, see if things are getting any easier. Frank Ladd is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
I'll start with 2 pieces of good news. They cleared the crash out of the way southbound on Highway 270 at Olive. All lanes are back open there. That's the good news. Those delays back towards Dorset should be easing rather quickly. The crash is also clear eastbound on Highway 70 and Highway 270. Those delays were eliminated really rather quickly. I'm seeing a couple of tow trucks on the scene eastbound on Highway 64 at Prospect. However, the right lane is still blocked there, and it's a tight squeeze through that left lane up against the road construction wall. So you're backed up to about Wentzville eastbound on Highway 64 up to Prospect. We're sponsored by S&L Coins. I'm Frank Ladd in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
S&L Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call S&L. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. S&L Coin.
Time for the Friday edition of Hancock and Kelly.
You two belong together.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning, John Hancock.
Welcome back. You still have to pay taxes in Missouri?
I don't know. I thought you guys were trying to get rid of all the taxes.
It's hard to say. Welcome back. A couple of months in Greece. And,
no, I was there 9 days, and so I missed 2 of our shows together.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry you had to. I think you did that to me once this year.
I had to do the whole 8 o'clock hour last week all by myself.
How was it?
It was, I don't like to talk, Michael, but they had me back.
I was spent that time over in Greece. Now I know you're married to a Grecian.
Yeah.
Grecian. You're married to a Grecian. Have you all made the pilgrimage to the homeland?
We have not.
You got to put it on your list.
All right, it's on the list.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, of course it is.
And now I get how you do all the fancy words when you're talking about food.
Oh,
like,
I love their food.
Spanakopita.
Spanakopita.
Yeah, just the way that you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like it, don't you?
I did.
You dig it.
I drove over in Greece.
Yeah.
Words are hard to read. It's all Greek to me.
Well, because they're written in Greek.
Yeah. Can you read any Greek?
No.
It doesn't look anything like it's supposed to. You know, when they have the English words and the Greek words on like the highway signs and stuff, some of it makes sense. And then like 75% of them, you'd never be able to figure out what it says.
Well, that would make driving difficult, I would think.
Speaking of difficult, man, difficulty coming to former FBI Director James Comey. Yesterday, an indictment came down. Lindsay Halligan was put in as the federal prosecutor after President Trump had fired the previous prosecutor because they wouldn't move forward with charges against James Comey. John, this is because the statute of limitations are running out on an assertion that he provided false statements related to leaking some information to the newspapers. Very convoluted, very crazy, and seems pretty unprecedented.
Yeah, I mean, this is, it's a political prosecution is what it is. Years ago when the New York district attorney brought the case against Donald Trump on what essentially was a campaign finance violation.
Right.
I raised a flag there and I said that, this is a political prosecution and you've got these elected prosecutors all over the country that they can just start whatever reason. That was a bad precedent. This is that on steroids, okay? Right. Because you've now got the president of the United States publicly calling for this man by name to be indicted.
Yeah, wasn't passive.
And then they remove the U.S. attorney there in the Eastern District of Virginia and replace him with one of the president's lawyers who actually was present and representing the president at Mar-a-Lago during the documents case, which that, of all the cases against Donald Trump, the only one I think that was clear was the documents case.
But that one was maybe a same thing that he was arguing was a political prosecution because that was the Justice Department, something of which Joe Biden didn't have control of, but was in charge of. And that's the assertion. Joe Biden politically weaponized the Department of Justice to come after him, to get back the classified documents. And to the rationale of people who don't like James Comey and who've bought into Donald Trump, this is just turnabout as fair play. Why is it not?
Yeah, and I think that is the case they're making. The turnabout is fair play. If you're going to pursue this, I would have advised the president not to publicly call on James Comey to be indicted.
Right.
It's just, I think that in and of itself is probably enough to get the case thrown out. I expect the case is going to be thrown out. It's about one statement he made to a question from Ted Cruz. And they were investigating, the committee at that point was investigating the Russia investigation, the origins of the Russia investigation. And the question that Comey is alleged to have lied about had nothing to do with the Russia investigation. It was something else. And then what they quoted Comey as saying in the indictment, he doesn't actually say during the hearing. And so, this case is going to
it's going to fail.
It's going to have a very short shelf life, I predict.
But is this the start of more? Obviously, we saw great consternation, from the left all over the attorney general at the time of Joe Biden, who was
Merrick Garland.
And remember, he was very passive, really wouldn't get engaged, but didn't never think there was enough evidence. Finally, they moved forward on some stuff. This is a flat out president of the United States hopping in, instructing his attorney general to do it. They've done it. Do we see more of it? Is Hillary Clinton next? Is that what we're going to see him go down his greatest hits list?
If you're reading the tea leaves, the next ones are going to be Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, and Adam Schiff, the senator from California. Those are the three names he specifically called out, instructing the Attorney General Pam Bondi, complaining that nothing's happening with these cases. We need to act on them. So I suspect if you're looking for the next shoe to drop, I suspect it will be Letitia James, and followed by Adam Schiff. And what they end up indicting them on, who knows?
Right. It just another list of, political prosecutions. I'll end them if I become president. Guess what? He's political prosecuting. Hey, we need to protect the First Amendment. He becomes president. Let's throw these people off. This president is kind of a walking contradiction.
Well, yeah, and we'll see if it damages him politically. I suspect it probably won't. And maybe we can cover that aspect of this when we come back. It's Hancock and Kelly on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman for Genesis of St. Charles, the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. Genesis of St. Charles, a trusted Genesis dealer, and the all-out sellout has arrived. Genesis of St. Charles out to break all sales records in September. This month only, receive a $500 gift card with any new vehicle purchase. You want to trade? They're offering more for your pre-owned vehicle than ever before at Genesis of St. Charles. Genesis of St. Charles is located at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway, right off Mid-Rivers Mall Drive and I-70. You've seen the Genesis of St. Charles dealership from afar. Now it's time for you to go inside. You will find a state-of-the-art facility, luxury service, and Missouri's first and only Genesis dealership. These new models are in stock now at genesisofstcharles.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra and their monumental tour, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, to Enterprise Center December 23rd at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. And right now, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is offering their lowest ticket price in years, starting at $55 including fees, only for a limited time. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey, welcome back to the Hancock and Kelly Show. We're going to stick around all the way till 10 o'clock with Amy and Chris, the Amy and Chris Show. Don't forget, you can always see us on Sunday mornings at 8:30 on Fox 2 for Hancock and Kelly, the television show.
Yeah, you're actually going to be on this week.
I am going to be back. And
nice.
Fortunately, I'm not a general, admiral, or a leader of our military. The Secretary of Defense, which President Trump refers to as the Secretary of War, still don't get that whole thing. I think that's weird. I don't understand it. But anyway, Secretary of Defense Hegseth bringing all of the generals, admirals, over 800 of them, to an in-person meeting that's going to take place in Virginia over the next week or so. Mm-hmm. It's not something that's typically been done. I've tried to read to see what historically has brought every commanding general to visit with the Secretary of Defense, and it's usually not related to something good.
Yeah, and I certainly hope that's not the case here, because it would be to bring all of them together in one place. First of all, I would have to think of that some kind of a security issue,
and it's announced that they're going to be together.
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I guess we're all going to find out soon enough.
It just seems awfully strange, doesn't it? That they'd be doing it. I mean, we're seeing this administration turn over so many norms, and I get it. A lot of people think, hey, this is the fair reaction to the inertia that came from the left. I think even historians are saying, man, we're going past some norms here. You can't help
no question about that.
Be scratching your head and wondering, boy, I hope we're not trying to politicize the military.
Well, we'll find out about that. I mean, I'm not surprised by this. And, I don't know. You've been away, so I don't know if you've seen all the polling data that's been coming out. But I've seen polling data within the last several days that show that how underwater the Democrats are on all of the policy issues. Two Republicans on taxes, on the economy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now, so the question is any of this stuff that's happening out there? A, are people paying attention? B, do people care? C, is it going to impact the midterm elections? And I don't know.
Let me throw another one in there. Are people even true to their own belief system? I mean, one of the narratives that President Trump ran on is that Kamala Harris and the Democrats are socialists. They're communists. And one of the first things he does come in and impose tariffs and then announces yesterday, John, we're going to start taking that tariff money that was going to pay down our debt, and we're going to redistribute that to farmers who are suffering as a result of the tariffs. That's truly socialism.
Yeah, it truly is.
I mean, it is the definition of socialism. And it's interesting to me that many of the people who voted for Donald Trump, rule America, the folks who build the breadbasket of the world,
yes,
are the ones who are standing there now asking for socialism as a result of the policies he's implemented on them.
Well, don't forget the government now owns 10% of Intel.
Yeah.
You know, that's a point I've been making for a long time. You know, like him or not, Donald Trump it is not accurate to refer to him as a conservative. He's not a conservative. In fact, the expansion of government in this administration has been fairly staggering. And when you look at the government reach into so many different areas, traditional conservatives would say, no, we don't want to do that. And the taxation, the tariffs are a tax. And it's a massive tax increase that all of us are going to end up paying most of, or at least part of, when we buy stuff. So, Donald Trump's not a conservative definitionally, but again, I don't think hardly any of his base of support care about that. They like the strength that Donald Trump
projects.
Yep, and they like the fact that he's active. They like the fact that he's disruptive and
even rude.
Yeah,
I think they like that. I mean, to go to the United Nations and tell the rest of the countries they're going to hell, and to assert that there's some vast conspiracy. I mean, the rest of the world's getting to see what those who haven't supported Donald Trump in America see, which is the guy just says anything he wants. Hey, John, before this ends and we join Chris and Amy, the St. Louis, Great St. Louis, which is our Chamber of Commerce here in St. Louis, just announced that they have a new CEO coming in, Ron Kitchens, who's going to be coming in. He replaces Jason Hall, who was removed or who went off to Columbus, Ohio not too long ago. You and I have often lamented the fact that the business community, our father's business community, if you will, the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, no longer exists. There was this effort to consolidate folks behind this regional chamber. I guess we got to hope this is going to go well, but we need a business community that's going to take an active leadership role in this region, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And of course, what's different now than 30 years ago, 40 years ago, is that we don't have the number of Fortune 500 headquarters in this town that we used to have.
Right.
So, there used to be a half dozen, 10 very significant, substantial business CEOs who lived and dwelt in St. Louis. That's just the CEOs of a lot of the companies that are here. They're not here.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's one difference, but you're right. There's a tremendous amount of economic capacity in St. Louis that ought to be harnessed and ought to be marketed and sold better. And this guy, by his track record, looks like he's been successful in bringing businesses into, I think he was in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Right. And it comes from rural Missouri. And, but the regions that are surviving are the regions that work and have a business community that's working closely with its government to attract opportunity.
Yep.
And playing a role of expectations that needs to come from elected officials. And I think Great St. Louis is looking to go that direction. Gosh knows our region has some challenges. We could use the help.
Yeah, it needs to do it. Years ago, I met with the director of economic development for the state of Georgia.
Okay.
And he was explaining how this Atlanta explosion occurred. And it was a nexus between government, the airport, and the energy sector, the power company,
right?
And the power company and the airport and the economic development folks, they would go and make presentations together. They'd make deals on what utilities are going to cost. They'd give economic incentives. The airport expanded. Hartsfield, you can go. I mean, it's one of the world's biggest airports now.
Right.
And I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be done. There are examples of cities that have rebuilt, like Detroit. We can be one of them. Hey, he's John Hancock. I'm Michael Kelly, buddy. We're going to stick around, aren't we?
We are. Chris and Amy are coming up, and we'll be joining them. And that's next right here on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Michael Kelly is back from Greece. We'll ask him about the trip. We've got Hancock and Kelly. Oh, yeah. We'll also ask them about James Comey's indictment. Plus, it's Friday. We've got our no prize football pick'em. Tom Pagnozzi is our guest. It all starts at 9 a.m. on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's going to be chicken and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, will be hosting his